Boom! Sorry. Don't freak out, those with the watch page open. I didn't mean to. Are you ready for a day of festivities? Well, I am. Let's do it. Helicopter, paracopter. Boom.
Are you ready? Call your mama, call your papa, call your friends. The festivities are about to begin. Boom.
All right. Sound is on. Visual is on. Oh, there's no camera. Oh, it'll be fixed. Boom. Thank you, everybody, for coming in here in your boom. Why are you shaking? Oh, look at this guy. Oh. Thank you, everybody, for coming into the boom. This is Thursday festivities. And the day is the 6th of October, 2022. You know that? Ah, stinky. No dogs should lick your noses and your orifices areas. You're always gonna smell like a dog. Damn it. Shout out to everybody. Thank you for coming in. Please, if you like this individual, if you like this individual, it looks like a little gargoyle. It looks like a gargoyle. If you like gargoyles, and if you like this type of creatures like this, please boom like now. He doesn't look like a chihuahua a lot because he's not on guard, you know. His ears are not all the way up and up. Shout out to Uno. This is Uno. Uno. We got a super chat by Sean Smith for a $5 super chat. Chat Sean Smith. Boom! Let the festivities begin. Like and subscribe today. If you haven't hit like, please do so now. If you haven't subscribed, do so now. If you are not subscribed, you will be unable to participate in the YouTube channel. As I say, this is Uno. He is, let me see, like 4 years old. Yeah, he's cool. He's cool. He's my buddy. He's a skinny but strong dog. He looks mellow in the down low, but he can be ruthless. Ankle biting could be. Please support these festivities. There's a PayPal link pin in the YouTube chat box, and you can hit me up on the super chat. Nice dog, Jose. Got a Shetland sheep dog myself. Shetland sheep dog. I have no idea. Shetland? I have no idea. I thought it was you were gonna say German Shepherd. If you got a German Shepherd, it will eat this as a snack, like for supper. Okay, you know. You like this chilling? He likes the chilling, man. Thank you for coming in. Shout out to everybody. Everybody is Fred Bailey, Citizen 9, Stefan Mudd, Devil's Advocate, Farmer's Boy, Mark Ting, Shamrock's Bank Observatory, Jim's Mind, Sean Smith, Fred Bailey, Stefan Mudd, Zeb Tepe, Thor KC. Hey, Thor KC. Welcome to the channel. Are you new? Hello, I'm new too. Damn, Uno looks too new to be 4 years old. Must be dog years or something. No, he's like he have already lived 4 winters, 4 human winters with us. He looks very young. Chihuahuas look young. Chris Berry, I have a Yorkie, half Chihuahua, half Yorkie. Nah, there's a neighbor that walks a Yorkie around here. Half Chihuahua, half Yorkie over here. It's like a Chihuahua, small in size and hairy. The long hair, they're super cute, man. Shout out to Chris Berry, RT96, Stone Monkey, Step, I got a pitbull, and she loves Chihuahuas. Oh, hell no. Oh, 21. You want to do? Let me try something. Put him inside the shirt. And if you put your head out, chill out. Hold you. You can just lean back. Lean back. There you go. Now, hello. I got an extra extremity, an extra limb in my face. I got a tumor in my face. Looks like a dog face. Do you want the leg over here? It doesn't bother you a little bit? Maybe the leg over here. Okay, there you go. You cool with that? Yeah, we cool with that. I'm gonna open. We are in the Daily Boom Discord server. Daily Boom Discord server. The text chat is the Daily Boom Uncensored, and the voice chat is YouTube Live. YouTube Live. That it'll be public right now. Like Men in Black, yes, indeed. All right. If anybody would like to join us on the Discord server Daily Boom, we are on YouTube Live chatbox. On YouTube Live, voice chat. Oh, shout out to Farmer's Boy. He's in the house.
Here he is.
What's up,
Hello,
Farmers?
Jose.
How you doing?
Yeah, I'm still bloody working, but no, I'm good. I'm fine.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, ready to get off work? Sure.
Well, I've been out on site a lot. And of course, if you're out on site, you're not sat at home catching up on everything else. So I've got home and I thought, and I realised that I'd promised somebody to email me today and said, "Oh, can you send that report over?" I said, yeah, once I get home. So I got home, relaxed, had some dinner, and then thought, shit, I need to get that report together. So that's just what I'm doing. It's okay.
Nice,
it's only 7 o'clock in the evening.
No, it's not too bad.
No, it's not too bad. I mean,
Should be getting out of there like half an hour to an hour.
Well, I mean, yeah. Well, give me another 10 minutes, and I'll have emailed this off, and then I'm done. So,
Aye. Not too bad at all then.
No, not too bad. But yeah, I think it's going to carry on like that for quite a while. So,
guys, don't freak out in the audience. This is not an alien bursting out of my chest. This is just Uno, my dog. Uno, one of my dogs. So just chill out. He's about to pass out asleep. He's just chilling.
Are they all just got numbers then?
The first pregnancy, we had a female dog. The female dog when we got it, when the first time she got pregnant, we weren't planning on keeping any. We were gonna give him to adoption and whatever.
Right. Oh yeah.
So, but she had four, the first pregnancy, and this was the first one. This was uno, then dos, tres, cuatro. Yeah. We had the first 4 doggies. Yeah.
Fair enough. Makes sense.
And then we kept uno. The other 3 dogs were given, but then the second dog that we gave to my sister, my brother-in-law didn't like him. We gave it to him like 2 or 3 months old after he was ready, but he didn't like him. They were, the dog was ruthless to him, biting him. My brother-in-law didn't like him, so they didn't treat well each other, And they had him for a few months. I said, screw that. I don't want the dog. You want it back? I said, yeah, I'll take it. And we got that. That was number 2, but it's called Pipong, big belly dog. They call him like that. All right, I got a mute. I'll be back in a second. Go ahead, man. Take the floor.
Oh, cheers, mate. Thanks. Hate it when he does that. Oh, I know. I don't know what to say, so I won't. Yes. Can I have fries back, please? Yes. And extra pineapple. Yes, that'd be great. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Yes, Sean, I am hard at work. I've got a round trip to Swansea tomorrow. That's 6 hours of driving for an hour on site. I'm getting sick of the sight of Lidl stores. But they won't stop building them.
Was I unmuted?
Tell us why it's a globe. Well, because it is. It's what it is. It's a globe.
I wasn't unmuted all the time, right?
No, you were muted. Couldn't hear
Okay.
a word you were saying.
Right, cool.
I was lip reading. And you was obviously ordering extra pineapple on your pizza, and you wanted
That's
fries
what
with it
it's
as well.
Yeah, I got a new phone number, so I'm getting the people from the previous owner, which I know.
Oh, right. So you've inherited somebody else's phone.
Yeah, a number.
Oh,
Their number was disconnected, and I actually got it. Yeah, some kind of a family plan type of thing, and yeah, I got it.
So you've got people calling you who think they're calling them.
Yes, and I actually sound like it was my nephews, Louis, the taller one. Yeah, and we sound alike a little bit, you know. So he was, hey, Louis, what's up? Blah, blah, blah. I was like, whoa, chill out. I'm not him. Yes, you are. You sound like him.
Yeah, well, I used to get that when I was still at home with the parents. I'd pick up the phone and I sounded exactly like my dad.
Damn, yeah.
I'd answer the phone the same way, everything, and our voices on the phone just sound identical. So they'd immediately assume I was him and start talking. I'd go, well, no, just hang on a minute. You want my dad? Oh, I thought you. Yeah, well, never mind. Got that all the time.
Yep. And I just got this number. I got it yesterday since I didn't have it for a few months. I didn't have a number, so I couldn't communicate. I was using WhatsApp. Messenger type of thing. So when I was on Wi-Fi, I could call people and talk to them. So at least I kept contact with my closest family, my sister and my parents from Puerto Rico and stuff. You know.
Yeah, God, I think my mobile when I'm at home, it connects to the internet through my wireless router. Phone calls connect through that. Just about everything connects through that.
Yes, sir. Shout out to everybody on YouTube land. I'll send you the number later, Sean Smith. I gotta send my number to C4 and a few people that have my number. And if you guys wanna holler, we'll do it. Does Uno chase rabbits and squirrels? Well, there's no rabbits over here, and squirrels are too fast climbing the trees. He hang around in the little bag of my house. I don't let him get too far because there's some big dogs in this park, and they are loose, like in the front yards. And this one is too hot. If I just let him go, he will go running straight across the street. Big female pit bull dog, and I don't know, she might eat him. I don't want to take the chance, man. Yeah, no.
No, I can't see keeping up with squirrels, particularly when they launch themselves up trees. I mean,
Yeah,
no.
there's a big palm tree over here, and right there, big tree, and they're always hanging out in the tree. I barely see them on the ground, you know. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean, they can move quite quick on the ground, but put them in the natural environment, watch them going up a tree.
Oh
Yeah, quite something.
Yeah, man. Chaik, what's up, man?
Not much. What's going on?
All is
Not
good. Good
much.
to hear you, man. Where you been hanging out lately?
Home?
On the interwebs.
Nowhere. Usually.
Did you get caught? Did you get got from other servers and stuff like that?
Well, currently I have only 3 servers. This, Blue, and some astronomy channel. That's it.
All right.
Bev banned me.
Well, I'm not surprised.
Well, I called him a dialist. Something like that, yeah.
Was it the one they keep using? Is it
The
dialithist?
The elitist, yeah.
Yes.
I called him, he says planes do not exist in reality, and then he says horizontal planes do exist in reality, and I don't see more dialytism than this.
Yeah. Good point. I don't think they like having their illogic pointed out though.
Snuzzly Wipes is in the house. How you doing, man? You don't want to get out of here?
Yeah, I'm okay, Jose.
Cool, man.
I'm just cooking up some meatballs here, so.
Nice. How I mean, how does one make meatballs? Make. I didn't say buy in a bag and frozen or whatever. It's gotta have all kinds of special ingredients, right?
Well, you can just use ground beef and make it simple, or you can add stuff like
They'll
breadcrumbs and
they will get destroyed. The ground beef will not hold the way you cook like for meatballs and spaghetti and stuff. I don't know.
Well, it needs a certain amount of fat in it, so.
How about the chemicals? Like all the chemicals that the meatballs has.
Yeah, I don't think they do. Well, commercial probably do, but
Yeah, exactly. The like if I want a homemade meatball to taste like a frozen bag meatballs, I like to make it myself. Do I need like to buy a bag of leftover animals like in a butcher store like pork hoofs and chicken beaks and chicken feet and shit like that?
yeah.
And grind it up down and then add it to the meatball. Maybe that's the special flavor, right?
Yeah, some 4 also.
Yeah, yes, etc., etc. You know, all those other parts of the animals that you think they throw away, and we're just eating it in hot dogs, meatballs, and burgers.
You mean all the sweepings off the abattoir floor? Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, just don't throw it away. Sweep it up and just sling it in. They'll never know. Yeah,
That's it, man. Ground beef mixed with pork, lamb, and breadcrumbs mixed with an egg. Dude, you're adding lamb. Now you're making the expensive, the fancy ones. There's no lamb in freaking frozen meatballs, store brand generic meatballs. They actually taste all right. They taste good.
No, I usually make my own, or I buy them from the butchers.
Nice. I ate a giant pork rib yesterday that I got from the from the volunteering, the food bank volunteering thing. I got a big rack of rib, like 2 feet big and like a foot wide in one end, and then it converges, bro, gigantic. I say, what the fuck am I gonna do with this? Okay, I got an idea. Chop it and cook it. Dude, I was eating all day yesterday. That shit. Good. Meat overdose. That's all right. I'll take it. Probably put up like 5 pounds at least yesterday. Easy. Don't go around people telling you want to show them your meatballs, all right?
Yeah, do you want to look at my meatballs? Yeah.
Friendly advice. I got a paradox for you guys. I figured out a paradox.
Oh yeah.
I got the star singular, the star paradox.
Right.
All right. Let me try to voice this in my brain. I am me, right? And I'm standing in the front of my house, and I got a long, pretty straight street that I can see vanishing over there. Yeah, right. We got the perspective. I don't know, half of a mile long, and I can see all the way to the right. But in front of me, so I'm looking ahead, and I'm looking to the sky over there. Poop! There's a star. I'm looking at the star, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking at the star. That stars belongs to me, right? Like I'm locked in. There's a second person. Then I look to the side and Flip-Flop is standing next to me. Oh, Flip-Flop, what's up? Good, man. What are you looking at? I'm looking at the long road, but I'm looking at a star right there. I say, all right. You're looking at the star. I look at him and his eyes are locked with the stars. I see him right next to me and my eyes are locked with the star. I say, all right, he got locked in. I'm locked in. So we are right there, right? I say, all right, just walk in front of me, 20 feet in front of me. And he's walking in front of me looking. And I say, never take your eyes off the star. Now walk along the street. Go keep walking. That long road stretch that I can see you and I can grab my binoculars and see you and see where your eyes are looking at, right? And he start looking. He start walking to the side, looking at the star. Locked in. I say, all right, grab that long stick right there. And he grab a theoretical 100 foot long beam, and he say, all right, I'm pointing at the star. So he's pointing this stick at the star, and I say, all right, you're in front of me, you're pointing at the star, and I can follow that stick, and I'm gonna hit the star. I say, now keep walking over there, keep walking that direction to the left. And he's walking to the left, pointing at the star with the stick, and the more he walks away, the more he's pointing somewhere else. But then I look, I said, like, where he pointing at? Is the star walking with him? I said, no, the star is right here with me. So he's walking away, pointing at this thing, and I'm looking all the way at the end, and he's pointing that direction, but then the star is in this direction. I said, all right, let me see. I don't know. Let me walk away. So I walk away, and I keep looking, and the star is following me. So the star is following me. I said, what the hell, man? What's going on? So the star is following me as I walk along, but then I transfer to my alternate reality universe, but I'm standing right here at the same time that the star is not moving. So the star is straight at me, not moving, but the star is also moving as I walk away. I'm pointing with the stick. So is the star moving with me, or is the star steady right in front of me? Please help me out, man.
The star's not moving.
The only one that can help you here, Gary Whitebank.
He like the parallax bullshit, right?
Right.
Yeah.
He'll have a parallax there.
You might have to tempt him out with some rubber bands or something.
But the star is not moving then, right?
Correct.
So I walk away, I keep walking, I go across the street, and I keep walking, and the star is right there, in the same spot, because I got a head contraption like so, and it's just holding my neck in there, and I got my eyes pop open, and a little triangle bars, and the only spot I see is the star. So I just walking, and the star is following me as I walk away, very far away. The star is moving with me. Is the star moving with me? Following me?
The star isn't moving with you. from your point of view, it's remaining fixed and stationary because it is far away. Very, very far away.
But yesterday the moon followed me to the gas station. I exit aside. I said, "Hey, look at the moon. Nice." And I keep walking. I go like, "Whoa, it's going old." I'm walking, going through the house, through the front, and the moon is going through the house, through the back. And I see him just cruising on top of the roof of the house. So the moon is moving with me, because if I stay standing in there, the moon is there with me. That moon is mine. And then I walk away, and the moon is moving with me. But if I say, "Hey, dude, is the moon following me?" No, the moon is right there. What's going on, man? That's a paradox. I cannot grasp it. I cannot understand it.
This reminds me of a video that Channel Q did.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying. Who the hell was it who thought that the moon was sneaking up on him? Oh, that was old Matrix, wasn't it?
Oh, no, man. The stars are following me.
Right. They work for the government. If you thought the government don't have their eyes on you, now you know they do.
So, how many moons are there? How many moons? Earth, moon.
Well, Earth has got its one natural
big
moon,
moon that we see.
the moon.
The big moon, yeah.
Yeah.
That does eclipses and shit like that, and phases. We got one, right?
Say it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I think you need to get pest control. There's something on your...
There's some rodents. Hanging around here.
Damn, you growing big over there.
Oh, man.
Yes, Earth has one natural satellite, the moon, and we do, of course, have lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of artificial ones. And they all tend to be quite a bit smaller.
Well, yes, be careful what you... Yes. Well, so there's one moon, right? And I'm walking away, and I'm walking through the front of my house. There's the house right here, and then the moon is back here. So I'm looking at the moon, and there's the house right here. And as I walk past the house, the moon is also doing the same, going past the house with me, and it's going away with me. But then I look back, I say, "Yo, the moon is right here. It's right in front of me." So I just took a moon away, but he kept one moon over there, right? That's the paradox right there. How intelligent I am that I just figured this out.
But I thought you were moon illiterate.
I am, but I just figured it out. I'm more of a star illiterate, but it does work with the stars. Now the moon, you know.
Right.
Sean Smith says, as you change your position, you are changing your point of perspective. This makes it seem like the moon is following, but it's an optical effect. Dude, you sound like Gary right there. Oh, no, you're right.
But that only works when you're looking at it using your natural eye.
Say goodbye to the peeps. Bye.
Bye, you know.
No dog wieners in the stream. Bye. Smile. Hold on. Yeah. Hey, whatever. Let's go. Shout out to Dr. Bob. Dr. Bob is here. How you doing?
Hey, Jose, how you doing today?
Good. I have a problem, Bob.
We know.
Well, he's a doctor, so.
I have a problem over here, man.
Are you after diagnosis?
Bob said, perfect answer. I know. We know. Bob, if I'm looking at the moon from the front of my house, the front of my house is right here, and I'm looking at the moon, and the moon is right over there. As I walk away, the house go by, and then the moon is locked in with me, like I got an anchor with it, and I'm just dragging it. As I walk away, I'm bringing the moon with me. So is the moon moving? Because when I asked my neighbor, "Hey, yo, Where's the moon? Is he following me? Because I got it right here. He said, no, I got it right here, right in front of me. What's going on here? It's a paradox.
No, it's not a paradox. It's a parallax. There is a slightly different angle, but you'd be hard pressed to measure it. But
if I keep
because
walking
the angle,
very
the
far
two
away-
angles,
Yeah.
because the
Yeah.
angles are so close to each other, you won't really perceive a difference with your Mark 1 eyeball.
So if I go really far away and I stretch my arm pointing at the moon and I holler at my neighbor, hey, where you at? And he got my peanut 100, zoom into him, and he's pointing at the moon with a stick. I say, yeah, you're pointing over there somewhere. I'm pointing over here. So what's going on? Like we got one moon over there, one moon over here.
No, it's just parallax. Now, do that with somebody in California, and the moon will be in a different spot. And if you take a picture at the same time, you'll see that there's parallax to the moon compared to the back stars.
So how far do I have to go away from that person for the moon to become one again?
Moon to become one again?
Yeah, because we had two moons first. We had my neighbors looking at the moon, and one of the moons was walking with me away.
They have to be co-located with you, because if they're not, it's a slightly different angle compared to the back stars. And you can see that. Scott Mackey did a really nice video on that with two people that were separated by quite some distance and determined the distance to the moon by using parallax to the stars.
Can you see the moon, Jose?
Not right now, no.
No, I can see the moon. It's almost right south to me. It's a bit east to the south.
You've got to take pictures and line up the stars in the background. You'll see the moon is slightly different location for you and Jose when the moon comes up for him, probably around 3 or 4 this afternoon.
Yeah, man, I cannot, you know, I can visualize it as I'm looking at the moon and I'm walking away. I understand because I went across the street and I looked at the moon, and the moon was going across the street with me, following me, like locked in, like it was a limb of me. So is it following everybody then? Is it the billions of moons around? Sorry. Try to keep a straight face. It's a moon paradox. I would like a flat earther, somebody, in Montreal or something, that can think of stupid shit like this. I want to see somebody perfect this paradox. The moon paradox, or the stars. Let's say the stars, because are like more, you know, less close. Are the stars less close than the moon? We gotta ask a flatty about that.
Well, what I would say is if you could get like a camera at your neighbour's house down the street, 100 metres or 200 metres away, and a camera in the front of your house, and they were filming the moon, you know, from those two angles, and you had like one of those, you know, those like VR glasses where you've got one thing in one eye and one in the other. If you could get the camera for your neighbour in one eye and the camera from your house in the other, you would definitely see a difference in the position of the moon.
That's a great idea, and it's something I could do, and I'm gonna try to do. I'm gonna grab my camera and put it in. It's gonna be tricky because I'll be walking with the camera, with the P900, and it can shift, it can change. I don't have one of those gimbal things. I can put it in a tripod, maybe tripod to put it in like a little toy car or something, like the tripod sitting in there. So and try to hold it as steady as I can, like lock it and walk away. So I point at the moon with the P900, let's say, and I keep walking away, and you're gonna see the moon right there, locked in. As I walk away, I pass houses and trees and buildings, and the moon will be right there. In the meanwhile, before I took off, I got a little camera, maybe a phone camera, recording the moon right in front of it. So I'm gonna leave that phone recording, and I'm gonna walk back and forward, and that will tell me if the moon is following me or if it's stationary. Will it be both? I think it will be both, moving and stationary at the same time.
Well, what you could do is you could have just like a screen that you look at and have someone 100 yards to your left and someone 100 yards to your right, and then you could flick between the two cameras, and just like, you know, you look at something in a room and you close one eye and then open the other one and close the other, you'll see like your finger moves position. You would see that with the moon.
But Jose, what you want to do is exactly what Gary Whitebenga did on the top of his car or something, and he couldn't keep the camera on the star or the moon or whatever he pointed at.
He couldn't.
He couldn't.
I
Yeah,
put a
but-
picture for you there, Jose.
But I walk across the street and the moon followed me across the street.
Well, your head is on a gimbal.
But I wasn't moving it, you know. I had it locked on my
Of course you did.
shoulder like this, and I was just walking, just looking at it.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I used to
Lord.
look at the moon through a telescope, and every few minutes, you know what I mean, you would have to move it depending on how focused in, you were on it. But it could be every few seconds if you were really zoomed in, you know.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Let me share this. Let me share this image that Bob shared with the audience. There you go.
So you see, the moon is in slightly different positions related to the stars, based on where you are. So that was basically the width of the United States. There were two shots taken simultaneously, and you see the moon shifts.
So it has to be measured. Like,
Yep.
I mean, it has to be contrasted and measured in order to see this. Because if I'm just looking at it, like me, just looking at it and try to stay the most steady possible and try not to do any outside measurements besides me, myself, it's going to look like it's what is moving with me.
Yeah.
And it will theoretically be kind of moving with me, right?
Yep. Because that difference represents the different view, 2,000 miles apart.
I don't know, man. It's like I'm seeing triple right here.
There's two moons there.
Yeah, I mean, wasn't there some British guy went all the way to an island in the Pacific or something to take photographs of, was it the moon going in front of the sun in order to try and do a parallax thing and do some measurements? He was one of the first people that did it way back in 1800s or something.
That was the great transit of Venus expedition, 1769. Captain Cook was involved with that. Mason and Dixon were involved with that. There were 67 teams sent out to different locations on the Earth to observe the transit of Venus across the sun to find the distance from the Earth to the sun.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I remember reading about it sometime when I was like,
Yeah,
probably
they got
14
it within
or
like
15 or
50,000
2,
miles. They got the transit to within about 50,000 miles. They got the Earth-Sun distance.
Yeah, I think it was one of the very first times that it's ever actually been measured scientifically. I mean, people had made calculations from different times of the year, in France and stuff like that. But I think that was the first time it was scientifically sort of like measured. I remember something about it when I was about 14 or 15.
Well, the interesting thing was 84 years earlier, they had another transit. And that English Puritan, what was his name? Jeremy something or other, where he measured he estimated the size of Venus to be about the size of Earth, and he estimated the distance from the Earth to the sun. That was the first attempt to do it. But in 1769, they really went all out.
Easy there, Bob. We don't want nothing personal. Somebody measuring the size of penis.
Huh?
Somebody measuring his penis or something. We don't want to know about that. Sorry.
Yeah, I think just googled that there. It's Jeremy Horrocks. It's in 1641. Yeah.
Yeah, that was him. 1641?
That's what it says here. 3rd of January 1641, age 22. Jeremy Horrocks' scientific career Wanker England, Transit of Venus.
Who is Ketu? Who is Ketu?
Yeah, because they're about 84 years apart. And one was in 1769, so the other one should have been a little later in the 17th century.
Anybody know who is Ketu or what is Ketu?
No, I'm sorry, they're 110 years apart.
Oh, fuck.
What are you on about, Jose?
What or who is Ketu? We must consider that factor, the Ketu factor, as we look at eclipses and shit like that.
That's something for TikTok or something?
Well, God knows, it's Chris Berry who's stating it. Could be anything.
I have heard the word
that
Ketu
up.
before. I have heard Ketu before. Big shout out to Leal for the $5 super chat. Thank you, Leal. Appreciate that. Thanks, Fleurs, for paying taxes in the States. NASA allowed me, through taxes, to give Jose this super chat. Thank you very much, Leal. I very appreciate the $5.
It's something to do with Hindu astrology.
Astrology. Oh, we
okay.
get close.
Rahu and Ketu
Here we go.
denote the points of intersection of the paths of the sun and the moon as they move on the celestial sphere and do not correspond to a physical planet. Yeah, whatever.
Well, we all know that they didn't know about it being a physical planet or the stars being, what they are. They thought they were dots in the sky and gods and stuff, so, you can take from that what you want. But I'm sure he takes from what he wants, you know what I mean?
Is it the 10th planet that NASA denies if we count with Pluto still being a planet? It will be the 10th planet will be Ketu.
No, because I think even they say that, it's not a planet.
They're talking about celestial bodies, but back then they were talking about stars.
All right, let's say that Pluto is not the 9th planet. Is Ketu the 9th planet?
No.
No. But Chris Berry is telling me that it is.
Is he telling you or is he asking you?
No, he's telling me. He's giving me information about.
Well, according to Wikipedia here, astronomically, I can't be teeth ain't straight. Rahu and Ketu denote the points of intersection of the paths of the sun and the moon as they move on the celestial sphere and do not correspond to a physical planet. Ketu and Rahu are not planets. They were never believed to be planets in Hindu astrology.
No, they were believed to be gods, I believe, you know what I mean?
Well, they're points. They are north and south lunar nodes. They're just points in orbits. They're not planets. Even the ancient Hindus understood this.
Oh, so it could have been something they used for navigation or something like that.
I fucking give up.
Now, I know what you're saying, that there are points in the sky. But what I'm saying is,
that's all they are.
Yeah.
And what else they use them for, I can't be asked to read because it's just whatever. But they're not planets.
Gentlemen, I got to step away for 10 minutes. I'll try to make it 5. Take the floor. I'll leave the image of the chicken gimbal on screen. I'll be back very shortly. You guys talk and let's talk.
Why don't you stick the one I gave you up real quick?
The moon. There you go.
No, the demonstration of Earth curve.
Where did you post it?
Right in the chat.
Oh, okay. All right, and then you guys can comment on it. It is loading.
All I'm going to say is I don't need any, proof of the curvature of the Earth because I know it's curved.
Loading.
Well, we all know it's curved, but it's nice to be able to verify it once in a while as easily as this. You got to know what you're looking at.
There you go.
Yeah, I've been too interested in NASA for so long. I've seen lots of pictures of space, and I believe that they're not CGI.
Dr. Bob's image is up. Read the super chat, and you guys can take the floor. Lel for $5. Thank you, Lel, for the $5 super chat. NASA told me not to tell anyone that NASA actually owns all other space agencies. Lel, $5. Thank you, Lel. I'll be back shortly.
Yeah, doesn't NASA own the South Pole and it pays all the governments of the world to protect it against the flat earthers?
No.
So how come we can all go there, but none of the flat earthers can go?
So in this image, you see the shadow of the Earth at sunset, and the belt or the veil or the girdle of Venus just above it, and then you see the bright sky. So there's proof positive the Earth is curved right there, just in one photo.
It's pretty cool.
That's the new Roe Ackerman Smith astrograph, the 11-inch RASA, and that's for asteroid surveys.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, I've become more interested in asteroids and stuff like that in the last 5 years or so, but I just don't have a telescope strong enough to really study the sky. And I don't really have a camera to connect to and to capture anything, so and I doubt I'd ever see it with just my eye, you know.
That is a 620 millimeter focal length f2.2 telescope. Very, very fast. 1 minute of images with that one equals about 20 minutes of images with all my other telescopes. Most of the other ones are on the order of f8 or f10, and that's an f2.2.
Yeah, most of my telescope is probably good for looking at the moon, maybe some of the planets, if knowing where the skies and stuff in Scotland, which you don't get often. And I've got a really good pair of binoculars for observing on land, but yeah, I could probably look at the sky a bit, but mostly for the seeing distance on the ground,
If you look at the back corner of the observatory platform there, you'll see a black object sticking up from the corner. That's the mount. That's the mount for my binoculars. So you put those on the end of the binocular, or you put the binoculars on the end of that mount, and there's a counterweight on the other side, and you use that for the astronomical binoculars, and you can clearly see the Galilean moons of Jupiter and the rings of Saturn with those binoculars. Not to mention, you can see all the folks fishing on the other side of the lake over by the dam. That we're looking east right now at sunset.
Yeah, my binoculars are like they're National Geographic 36 times 180p times 70 zoom. They're good for 1,000 yards or something like that, but that's about it. But you could watch the sky with them, but you're not going to get very good.
Well, it's not necessarily all that bad to have a relatively short focal length set of optics. You can really see the big objects like the moon.
Yeah.
You run into a problem with being able to see the whole moon with really high powered scopes. You can zoom in on craters, but you can't see the whole picture of the moon. Same thing with nebula. You get like the California nebula is pretty big. It's very difficult to see the whole thing.
Yeah, my telescope I use for trying to. I like it when the moon's in phase and you can see the dark border, and you can actually see quite a lot of like really interesting looking changes to the craters and stuff. I like watching that through my telescope. But yeah, for observing the whole moon just when it's full and stuff, yeah, I use a binoculars.
You do have to be a little careful with it, though, because the moon is so bright, you can actually hurt your eyes looking at the full moon. So don't stare at it a long time. Look at it in short little bites. That's a Celestron CGXL mount. It's got a capacity of about 75 pounds. You see, I've got two counterweights on it there. Those are 8 pounds each, but almost 9. But all my telescopes will fit on that mount, except for the Meade, and I'm getting the rail for the Meade. So pretty soon we'll have a really big telescope sitting on it. That big 10-inch Meade with a focal length of 2,600 millimeters versus that one's got 620. So we'll be able to zoom in on planets and such and track them. And it tracks it to within an arc second.
Richard Feynman looked in the nuclear bomb in the eye through glass only, and he didn't go blind, so I don't think the moon will hurt your eyes.
No, it's not necessarily damage them, but it's painful. It's very bright.
You'll be a bit blind after that, but that will over.
No, it just hurts to look at it.
Okay. I'm back, guys. Thank you for keeping. I need to go to this. I'm slightly confused. Let me see. What letter shortcut is to full screen? What's the shortcut letter? Full screen. No, okay. I just want to see this on my end. I want to see this on my end. Well, it is good on the stream too. Bob, this image, you say, what is the title? Something about curvature. Your image with the telescope.
That demonstrates the curvature of the Earth. What you're looking
picture.
at.
Okay.
Yeah, you're looking east over the lake. The sun is setting behind me in the west. Now,
wait, hold on. Is going that way, or behind, or to the right is east in the picture.
No, you're looking due east.
Looking due east. Me,
Yeah,
I'm standing right here. So this is the picture. Due east is right in front of me. The picture that street. Okay.
Correct. The sun is setting behind you in the west.
Right.
Now, if you look at the far edge of the lake, you'll see a dark semicircle there, along the bottom of the, no, zoom it out a little more. You see that dark band that's just above the land?
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's the shadow of the Earth. And if you look at the very top of the picture, you'll see the bright sky that's sunlit.
Right here, like a big band, yeah.
No, above it.
Okay.
Yeah, up there. That's the bright sky. And that pink band that you see is something called the girdle or the belt of Venus.
That is in clouds, like a cloud haze.
That pinkness, there's no clouds in the sky at all. The pinkness there is called the belt or the girdle of Venus. And that is twilight above the shadow of the Earth and below the bright sky, the sunlit sky. That's the transition zone between the two. And that demonstrates that the sun is below the horizon, but shining on the upper atmosphere. So you've got the shadow of the Earth at the bottom. It's kind of a bluish purple color. Then you have the pink belt of Venus, and then you have the bright sky above it. That can only occur on a curved surface with the sun below the horizon behind you.
I can go with the sun below the horizon, darker over here, and then the brightness. But this, the something Venus was introducing here, just out of nowhere, pulled out of the hat.
That's called the belt or the girdle of Venus, and it's the twilight, partially up in the atmosphere, above the shadow.
How do you come to this conclusion that is the belt of Venus?
Well,
how do we know?
Well, it's just the name. It's just the name. When the sun sets, it
Okay,
becomes
okay. I thought
red.
it was something really like literally from Venus. Okay, now.
It's when light scatters through the atmosphere and it turns pink because you're seeing more of the red rather than the
Yeah.
blue.
No, there's my confusion when every time that the name of this area was mentioned, it has a term. I thought that it was like actually from Venus.
No, it's not named. It's not named after the planet. Both
Okay, I
the
thought it was-
planet and the belt of Venus are named after the goddess Venus.
Like a big ring. I thought it was like a ring piercing through the atmosphere or something. Like I thought it was a Venus thing, like physically. I love it. Oh,
but
I
that
am
can only occur.
illiterate,
That
man.
can only occur on a curved surface
right.
with the sun below the horizon behind you. So in the morning, as the sun rises in the east, that'll appear out in the west as the shadow of the Earth as we rotate into the sunlight.
I guarantee you that all your flat earthers are going to say it's just the ether. It's the ether band. It's not the girdle of Venus. It's the ether band.
Well, who cares what the flat earthers say? They don't know.
I
That's
don't
from
care.
Noah.
I laugh at them. You know what I mean?
But it's an interesting thing for people to actually understand what they're looking at.
So this atmospheric phenomena that we observe right here with the shadow, and then this area, it's just a name, a term. They say every time we see that, and that's a phenomena that we're gonna call it Venus something. The belly of Venus. What's the name?
The belt of Venus.
The belt, belly.
Yeah. Well, that's just what they named it.
Right. Yeah, like if I know the atmospheric phenomena could be called the titties of Saturn or Saturn's titties or something, right? Like it has nothing to do with Saturn, but I mean it's just an analogy. I know nothing is called like that.
Saturn was a god, right? A male god. I don't think they have titties, or at least not functional ones.
Is it not a Titan? I think
Oh,
he's
something or
Zeus-
other like that.
Yeah, he's Zeus' father.
Why they didn't come up with cool names like that for like earthy, like more stuff like refraction or mirage? Instead of those words, we could call it the boobies of Jupiter, the belly of Venus, and the titties of Saturn. You know, we cannot see the last one because of the titties of Saturn. No,
well,
but,
unfortunately, Saturn was indeed a male god. In
the
way.
aureolas of Uranus. You know.
Well, no. See, if you're talking Uranus, it must be something else.
I'm sorry, man.
Surely.
I know we're trying to be educational, but I can't. I bring the weird. Yeah, he's already weird.
It took me a while to realize that Uranus was related to Uranus, the god.
It's all a matter of how you pronounce it.
Yeah, absolutely. In French, you have less of a problem with that.
Yeah, there was a point over here in the UK, and I think there was a lot. There something was going on. I don't know whether it was some NASA probe that had gone out past that way, but all of a sudden, it was now being called Uranus, not because yeah, schoolboys have giggled over it since the dawn of time, calling it Uranus, and all of a sudden, like on the TV and on the news, it was now being called Uranus because that didn't sound like your anus. You know, I must have been in the 80s at some point, I think.
Clever.
You know, they suddenly started pronouncing it differently, so it didn't sound quite so crude, I guess. And there was something on Spitting Image, and there was a very famous news presenter saying, and talking about Uranus, and they'd found this new planet, and they're calling it Bumholly because it was spelt bumhole. Our biggest doggers knows what I'm on about.
What you got, Lewis?
I'm very smooth brain this evening.
Oh, I just noticed your message, yeah.
Yeah, I can spell it out, but I'm really in a weird state right now. I feel like I'm very stupid. Like it's a horrible experience. I'm very tired. It doesn't hurt. I hear you guys speak, and now these last 5 minutes, I'm starting to understand what you guys say. But for like 30 minutes, you formulate sentences. I hear the sentences. I'm like, this has to make sense. And I have no idea what you're talking about.
Hence, you said to me I'm experiencing the flat Earth experience right now.
Yeah, I see something. It's in front of my eyes, and it's like I have no idea what I'm looking at.
Well, you're 15
Me too.
minutes ahead of me.
I came in to save the day, Lois, right? I guess because when I try to understand it is when it starts clicking with you. Not even, right?
I think I'm going to have wonderful dreams this night.
You just began understanding what we're talking about when I start talking about like Uranus and Saturn and shit like that.
Yeah. The key, I'm short 1 coffee. 1.
There you go.
I think I'm drinking your coffee because I went for coffee instead of tea.
Hey.
But it has got it's been enhanced with a big slug of Tia Maria.
You can have it.
It's going down very well.
I have no idea how it tastes.
Well, Tia Maria is a coffee liqueur. So you pour that in your black coffee. Yes. I heartily recommend it.
Oh, now I know. We changed the coffee machine yesterday, and I think I didn't feel it that much yesterday, but today it's starting to kick in. The coffee is not enough now. Yeah.
Oh, it could be worse. They could have changed it to a tea machine.
There's no such thing as a tea machine.
Yeah, there is. I've got one called Mum.
Blimey, how old are you?
I'm 12 going on 62, yeah.
Okay, fair enough. I don't like my mum's tea anymore. She doesn't use the same tea bags that I do. But I didn't tell her that.
What the fuck is that?
Well, honestly, I hated when my mum changed from actually just loose tea to tea bags. It never tasted the same ever. You know?
Oh, I can't be bothered with loose tea. Not when it's
I'm going to probably drop. I'll rejoin. I got an update that is fucking me up. It doesn't let me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it won't. It won't affect anybody. I'll be back shortly.
Yeah, sometimes these updates you can't just keep putting them off. Poxy things.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you save them up and then just do them on in one day, you know. I mean, I just on you go, mate.
I've still got an update waiting to go. I have this this bit of software that it will scan all my drives and see if they need update, and then it'll update it for me. And I did that yesterday and said, "Do you want to restart?" No, I fucking well don't. You must be joking.
Yeah, I set all that for when I'm asleep, you know.
Yeah. Once I've got a few others that need doing as well. Is Joe Mungus about 12? Because he seems to keep insisting that I'm old.
Yeah, but I mean, for young people, MD over 20 is fucking old, mate. You know?
I suppose so, yeah.
But I just got my first Fire Stick today, put it into my TV, and I had to get my 17-year-old niece to come over and program for me. Otherwise, it would have took me all fucking day, you know.
Oh, God.
If that's comforting, you do not sound old, at least.
Well, thank you. I mean, personally, I don't think I'm old. I mean, come on, is 52 old?
Well, is 62 old? You know.
Don't get me wrong. Sometimes I do feel old, particularly when I'm in the bloody car all day.
I got drunk last week and fell over in the park, and it took me a day to recover. And you know, I normally don't fall over, but I was drunk at the time and tripped over the stump of a tree or some fucking thing in the park when it was dark. But I felt awful for the whole day afterwards. You know what I mean?
I was paintballing on Sunday. To be honest, I could have done with a day of doing nothing, but you know, hadn't been for a while, so I thought I'll sell it. I was absolutely fine on Monday.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? But when I was like, 15, 14, I could fall out a tree 20 feet, land on my head, and I would be fine in 10 minutes, you know?
No, that's why they say make the stupidest things while you're still young.
Yeah. Apparently, I'm old because spelt C-U-Z, I talk about the 70s and drink tea.
Yeah, that's
it's a very British thing, drinking tea, you know, Jumungus. I know, obviously, I suspect you're a damned colonial. But yes, we drink tea over here. You don't have to be old to drink tea.
Yeah, but we also drink coffee. And
Well, yeah,
beer.
I'm having I'm having a rather nice black coffee at the moment.
Well, that's what I'm saying, right? We drink lots of things. Just because you drink something doesn't mean to say you're old. The fact that you maybe only drink, whoever's the guy who was talking to you, the fact that he probably only drinks, soda pop or whatever he calls it, you know what I mean? Does that mean he's very, very young? Is he a baby?
I know what it is. He just likes to moan about me. That's all.
We just lost Jose.
Yeah, well, he said he was going to drop out because he's doing this update.
Oh, my bad.
Mm.
What did I say earlier? I do not understand half of the things you say. Sorry.
That's quite all right.
Maybe I should drop it for the day. I'm going to do.
No, you're fine, mate. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, thank you.
What do young people drink these days? Is it like iced frappe, latte, skinny, soy? Something more.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I could ask my eldest stepson, but unfortunately he's now oh Christ, he must be knocking on the door 27, so I don't know whether that qualifies as young anymore.
Well, I've got a 17-year-old niece, and I know for a fact that she only drinks water. She doesn't drink tea, she doesn't drink coffee, she doesn't drink alcohol, she doesn't smoke dope, she doesn't do anything. All she drinks is water, you know. And,
that's very,
you know. Yeah.
That's very, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, yeah, boring. Yeah.
Very boring.
Fair enough.
Very boring, mature but boring, yeah. You know.
Yeah.
That's why we invented this stuff. So you don't have to drink just water all day.
Well, it seems to work for her. She's starting a brand new job in Friday as a supervisor in some place or other, you know, which sounds good. But, you know, so, you know, she's getting work, you know, and the water's working for her, apparently, you know, so that's good, you know.
Oh, well. That's all right then.
Hello, I'm near.
Ah, here he is. All sorted.
Care to come to us in the afternoon for a drink of water? Come on.
Water?
Water and biscuits.
What? Water and no, that's not right. Tea and biscuits.
Biscuit to dry, man. You need the water, Sashay.
It's about water and biscuits.
What if you're just eating the biscuit and you choke? Will you rather choke or get water? Right,
I'd rather have a cup of tea with it, to be honest. Tea and biscuits, that goes together quite well. But you've got to be careful, because if you dunk your biscuits, don't leave them in for too long, because they'll end up at the bottom of the mug.
Yeah, I hate that.
And then that last swig of tea suddenly becomes quite solid.
Yeah. Do you like digestives? Because I like them. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then it goes gloop, and you
You've got to be quick with the digestive. One dip. You don't dunk it toothy. Get one dip. You know, just get because it just soaks it up like a sponge. You know.
And Charlie Welsh has a very important health and safety tip for us. Be careful drinking water. It doesn't bend and can impale you. Yeah. Nice one, Charlie. I'm glad you pointed that out because water doesn't bend, does it? I find you really have to tip your head back so your trachea is nice and your esophagus is nice and straight.
Yeah. You don't want those jagged bits sticking in you.
No. That could be deleterious to one's health.
You're enjoying it, aren't you?
Hey,
I can hear you're enjoying it.
I am actually. I haven't had a coffee for quite a while, and I haven't had any alcohol for quite a while either. And combining the two, it's really rather nice. But I've got to be careful though, because there's lots of driving tomorrow. So
Yeah, not too much then. You won't be so
no,
much
exactly,
too long.
exactly. Yeah, because that's a problem. You think, oh, I'll just have a glass of wine, and then before you know it, you've had three, and you think, oh shit, am I going to be okay in the morning? I mean, the chances of getting pulled over and breathalyzed on a Friday morning are pretty slim, but yeah, let's not take the risk, hey.
How do
Not
you
just that.
know?
Somebody else could run into you and then they breathalyze you, so you don't want to be doing that. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. What was that, Jose?
How was it? How? Who? How? What? Where? Huh?
Blah, blah,
Huh?
blah. What?
Huh?
Is it just me this time, or
No, no, it's not you this time. It's Jose's. He's reset.
Sorry, I'm
his
playing
PC,
mind tricks.
not himself.
Play mind tricks.
yeah, you're gonna gaslight me into thinking I'm doing bad?
Oh dear! Have another crack at that,
Who? Who and when? Huh?
Oh god!
So people started opening brains, or just one random creepy dude. He say, "I need to know how this human head works," and he'd been doing it to animals, just killing animals and opening their head to look at the brains. Who was the first person to open a brain? How did that come about?
I don't know, but even the ancients knew that there were certain injuries that could make the brain swell, and they knew that if they removed a portion of the skull, in the process it's called trepanning, if you removed a portion of the skull, you would release the pressure on the brain, and then they would find a way to sort of plug that hole in the skull back up. And they've been doing that for, I think, thousands of years. So
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you what happened, right? They came, Peter, right? Peter is this guy, warrior, and he went hunting, and a big reindeer, a big reindeer hit him in the head and busted. Like the brain was just slipping out. It looked like a big ball, right? They took it to the tribe. How are we gonna heal him? I don't know. Just cut that piece that is hanging in there and just seal it up. So they sealed it up right there, the head with big leaves and dirt. And then the guy came back to. They said, "Whoa, he lived!" But remember the other 25 guys from our tribe who went hunting and they were hitting the head in different spots. They didn't. They died instantly, almost. But this guy lived with that part of the brain removed. So everybody line up, and we'll extract that part of your brain up, and we'll become a unique tribe. There you go. That's the true story. Yeah.
Thank you very much for that.
I was thinking you were going to say they cast him out of the village because they thought he was going to live forever.
And then a white person went to their tribe. He saw these practices being performed, and he adopted them, and he brought them to the rest of the world.
The first white brain surgeon. Yeah.
Because of course the brain is one of those organs that you can, and they do, you can operate on your patient whilst they're fully conscious, because they can't feel it.
Yeah, there's no pain receptors in the brain. Yeah.
Correct. So you give them a local, if you like, taking the top of the skull off, because obviously all the skin's got to be cut and all the rest of it. But when you actually get into the brain, they can't feel you doing anything to it. Although the brain is obviously nothing but a bundle of nerves, it's not those sort of nerves. So you can have somebody operating on your brain, and you can be sitting there quite happily chatting to them and not feel a thing.
Yeah, that kind of reminds me of a story my dad used to tell me, because when we were living in Africa many years ago, he was part of this is out in the bush in the middle of nowhere. But he was part of a kind of local kind of rescue team if anything happened, if an accident happened. And he told me one day he pulled up, this lorry driver, his lorry went off the side of a cliff. But then they managed to rope themselves down. And my dad was talking to this lorry driver in the truck, and in the cab, just having a conversation. You trying to keep him calm and stuff. So next thing, the emergency services arrive, and as soon as they moved him, that was it. Lights out.
Yeah.
It turns out the back of his skull was completely smashed in, and just the fact that moving him, that was it. Just yeah. But
Wow.
apparently he was just having a conversation, like, and nothing was.
Well, yeah, because I suppose if those areas of the brain that you use for all that haven't been damaged, then yeah, you can carry on doing that. And of course, you won't feel anything because, as Tess said, there's no pain receptors in the brain, so you won't feel it. And I suppose if you can still think and talk and react, then you'll carry on doing that.
That's a very weird thing about the brain as well. I mean, some people have had brain injuries, and when they come down from, they go into a coma, they're completely changed by personality. Some people know languages they've never been taught, stuff like that. They've obviously heard these languages, but somehow the brain can process that and can actually speak those languages because you've heard enough of it to make sense of it. So something in the brain is connecting there and doing something that you still don't understand what it's doing,
So then they, for real, man, arms, legs, everything, just by physically opening the parts of the body to know what's in there, even bones. And who documented that shit first? So people start writing it and drawing it, little diagrams until what we got today, right?
People, and I'm sure Da Vinci was one of the biggest proponents. They were into anatomy, and he would quite happily dissect bodies to see, how bodies were put together.
Was he taking the bodies himself from their beds while they sleep?
Well, he would buy bodies, yeah. He would buy bodies.
Is there any documented case of flat earthers that woke from a coma and became a glober again?
Not that I know of.
No, I've not heard that, I must admit.
But I think no, when you go, man.
Yeah, sorry, I had a joke in mind. I was like, if I become a flat earther, guys, you will be the first to know, and I will tell you exactly how it happened, so you can prevent other people from going through the same process. At least I can still save people.
That's why my brother said, when I die, if there's anything after death, I'll come back and tell you. He's never come back.
No, Louis, that's where you're wrong, because all you'll be able to say is, I was a glober once like you, and then I realized that it's flat.
That's what I'm saying. He said he would come back.
How it happened.
He's never came back.
Can I not have this in between moment like in the zombie movies? Come on, give me that. I'll try to write things.
They tell us how it happens all the time. They saw a video of someone and it clicked.
What I was going to say is that way back thousands of years ago, mankind's always been at war. Even way back in the caveman days, they probably fought between tribes and stuff, right? And people would be dragged back injured, and they must have tried to do things, How did we find out that munching herbs up and stick it in a wound helped it to heal faster than just leaving it, and stuff like that? So I think it's just over time, people just experimented. He's going to die anyway. And you're the medical man, you're the faith healer or whatever, just try something, and over time, they must have learned stuff and passed it down,
You killed the vibe, Turs. Come on. How dare you?
No, but you get what I'm saying. I mean, why would Andy draw a hole in somebody's head unless they had some brainwave idea that if I put a hole to let the evil spirits out or something. No, that's probably about the started way, and then it worked. And all they were doing was releasing pressure, but they thought it was evil spirits, kind of thing. You know what I mean? So
Like
the Magic
it
Man
was
of
like a
Village did it.
vehicle, like a horse or something.
I'm with Louis now. I didn't understand the word he said.
It's like a horse, you know. If a horse just something happened and the chest starts swelling, they say, "Holy shit!" I mean, he's dying. He's gonna die. Just that bruise, that odd part that looks in the chest, just poke it and stab him with some, and they hear the pressure, and then they put a whatever straw or something. I mean, something like that.
Can you imagine the pain you have to be in in a time where there was no anesthetic or
Straight up.
or antiseptic, and you're like, okay, guys, cut my skull open. I don't care anymore. It hurts so much.
They might have had at least medicinal, plants and stuff. That there were some plants that were that bad. They say, "Ooh, that's so bitter or something. We aren't gonna use that for medicine." But this guy is dying, and they need to open him up. They say, "Oh, let's give him for the bad plant because he's gonna be concentrating in the bad flavor of the plant, and he's gonna forget about his stomach is being cut up, and so he's
there's
bad plant guts coming out,
There was plants. There's the plant, some kind of water crocus or something that the Egyptians used. It doesn't exist anymore. It's extinct, but they used to use that, the purple locust or something like that. And that used to be a painkiller, but it doesn't. It's extinct now. Or you'll go to the white locust now. So way back in time, they must have had herbs that don't exist anymore because the change in climate, cutting, harvesting too much yet, not planting it. Who knows, but they must have had herbs that we don't have now that probably did have some kind of painkiller,
We? Who is we? Chinese? Smoke
human
opium.
beings. Human beings.
We Chinese smoked opium for centuries. It is pain. The European we didn't have it.
No, I'm saying there used to be in Egypt. There used to be the purple locust, which is extinct now. The one of the white locust, but they say that the purple locust was used in medicine back in the days of the Egyptians when it still existed. It's extinct now. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying.
I mean, haven't you seen the movie Caveman from the 70s? That explains everything, from making fire to like clothing and walking straight and like back straight and all that kind of shit. Caveman, great movie. I haven't watched it in 20 years, but I remember it like if it was yesterday.
I don't remember. I don't think I've ever seen it. I'll have to try and look that up. You remember 2001, Space Odyssey? How the apes learned to use bones as clubs. You know what I mean?
Yes, because they had a big black monolith that gave them a nudge.
Yeah, and then that's when war started. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Why do you do this to me, Luis and Chago? Whatever. I cannot understand church either today. I really can't.
Tess, you might have to reset yourself.
Why you blame us?
You guys don't understand it, man. That's like hypochondria or something. Like now I that vibe energy. Yeah, you affected me. I can't understand shit.
Is my microphone muffled or something?
No, it's your accent.
Not your microphone.
It's your accent, and it's like
it's
every day.
Accent.
I understand you every day, but today. Sorry.
Yeah, I've got to admit that I have been drinking today. I've had some wine and some whiskey, so I might be a little bit slurred. I'm sorry about that, guys.
How does that make today different from any other day?
Well, the ratios between wine and whiskey.
No, guys, I do have a couple or 3 days a week when I don't drink.
Do you?
Yes, I do. My mum's in hospital, and the days I have to go and visit her, I go up every second day. I don't drink.
Ah, they're the days when Jose doesn't stream. That's what it is.
Or the days we understand him.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I've got an advantage because I'm from the same sector dial, but I can understand him. But I can understand how some people might struggle.
And I don't have subtitles in real time here in Discord, you know, so I can't help myself with that one. For real. Some segments of I was watching something the other day, and I couldn't understand a phrase they say, and it was important. I said, "Fuck!" I went back and I had to put subtitles and try to figure it out.
That's fair enough.
Sometimes the accents get me. Hashtag thanks, Jeran. Interesting. Ancient problems require ancient solutions. False. Not necessarily.
Yeah, that's.
I think a lot of our problems are modern problems. So maybe we need modern solutions, you know?
You ruined the joke.
Did I just make a new joke?
Yeah.
You could work it out that way.
Okay, but not today.
What is this? I had this moon up a few minutes ago. I took it out, but this was in February 21st of 2020. Is this in the same, like, I'm in the yard, I'm gonna take a picture of, I'm in the share, right? Having a beer. This time I take a picture and then I wait an hour and a few minutes, I take another picture, and then an hour after I take another picture. Is that what happened here? From the same share, same day? Is there continuity here on that one person, or is this from different parts of the world? The moon.
I'm thinking that's different places on the world. Yeah. Or it could not. It could be different. It could be different times at the same place, because the moon does in an hour. It will be in a different place, and it might have a different angle because of the curve of the Earth and the rotation.
And an hour from 8 to 9 p.m. is too much of a change. I can see these two if I, with my arm cover the one in the left, I can see these two. But the first one to the second one is a tricky one.
Yeah, but if you think about it, when the moon rises, right, it's probably facing upwards with dark down. And then as you get to, like, nighttime, it's straight, the darkness is straight. And then as it starts to go down towards, the moon setting, it will start to curve because of the rotation of the Earth. Depends on what part of the planet you're taking these photographs from, but yeah.
Does it rotate that quick?
I know it's a long time. The moon's not up for 8 hours. It passes quite quick, the moon.
In a 1 hour interval. In a 1 hour interval. Does it rotate that quick? Do you see the image in the left and the right? If you're watching my screen share, maybe you don't even know what I'm talking about. The image has been reposted in the Daily Boom Uncensored, yeah. It's just been there. Oh, well, I don't know, man. I say, what I can say...
This is proof that... Sorry.
All I can say is this is from different parts of the world. Or maybe the same part, but way away. Few miles away. Maybe hundreds of miles away.
You see it every day.
I mean, have you ever been out and observed the moon from when you can see it, at night, in the dark, like this, because this is dark. You're not seeing the moon against a bright sky. So this is definitely at night time. This could be maybe a northern country where the moon passes and it's gone in like 4 hours. And this could be what you might see an hour between each of them because of the rotation of the Earth. And this photograph actually shows you, the that the Earth is rotating, and that's why the moon changes its attitude. Yeah.
I'm starting to see that. Yeah, you gotta turn the camera, man, because I'm picturing myself holding the camera, zooming in on the moon, and then I'm pointing. I'm pointing to the east, and then at the end, hours later, I'm gonna be pointing to the west. So the camera is gotta do a movement, so it will appear the moon to rotate from our perspective because that's the path that is going across the skies.
Yeah,
I
it's like,
understand. I don't know if you guys understand me, but I understand now why this could be a thing. Yeah.
Do we have any idea where this was supposed to be taken?
No, that's all we got.
Doesn't matter. Any place on Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to try to fiddle around with Stellarium and see if it fits.
Yeah, and it's
Of course
from
it
your
does.
observer, right? The camera looking at it.
I just never tried it before, Jake.
Well, try.
I was not curious enough.
To be honest, I don't know if there's a southern hemisphere or northern hemisphere, but it would be the winter of whatever hemisphere, because it would have to be the winter of either the southern or northern hemisphere for it to be dark at 8 p.m.
If you use a equatorial mount, you don't see it because it tracks it at the same angle all the time. But if you use alt azimuth mount, that's what you'll see.
This is called field rotation, right, Justin? I think. So an EQ mount will eliminate this field rotation thing. I don't know, man. I don't see it.
I don't know with it, because it would have to rotate the camera as well to keep the camera. Yeah, I don't understand.
No, if you keep the camera horizontal all the time and point to the moon, that's what you see. If you align it with the moon and keep tracking it on its path, won't rotate. It will be the same all the time.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking like a phone. I'm thinking like I got my Android, and if you keep flipping it, it will flip horizontally. Like the top will be in the bottom will be in the top, something like that, or the orientation. But it just doesn't work. Like it's not that. It's just a camera taking pictures and just following whatever the moon. Yeah. I mean, you're turning your camera towards it. I understand myself perfectly and don't understand anything either. How about that? What a dilemma.
Where's Stingray when you need him? He would show us all what it is.
Good times, man. I like this.
Louis,
We got a screen share. Let's see what we got.
yeah. Louis, you wanted Stellarium. Here we go.
I
There you
was
go.
trying to fiddle around with it, and I have no idea how to change my location. The button that is supposed to change the location is not showing on my browser.
You don't need to change your location.
Yes,
you'll
I
see
know. I wanted the moon to be in the perfect position that it's on 8:05 p.m. I just wanted to have the perfect frame, but I'm moving the time, and yes, it does make sense. I just never thought about it before.
Yeah, but it made total sense to me when I seen the angle of the moon changing. It made sense to me.
Yes. I started it. It was facing up, and now it's 23:42. So it's late at night, and it's pointing down.
Yeah, it moves a little bit, you know. And I know it was quite a long time when you're watching a body with the moon. It's quite a long time, and it will actually reorientate itself just in it, you know. Because I've watched it, as I say, I've watched it for years through telescopes and stuff. So I understood what was going on when I seen the photograph, and it actually proves that the Earth is rotating.
I am ready to share video, 2 minutes long video It's about the field rotation of the moon. This is from Dasa the cameraman. Shout out to Dasa the cameraman. I think he could be I think he's okay with me playing this video for you. So shout out to Dasa the cameraman. I'll share the original in the YouTube chat box again because it's already up there. Justin Frank's shared it. All right, let's see what we got here.
Let's make sure
Hello,
it's YouTube.
in this video we're going to look at the claims made in many YouTube videos that the moon has strangely tilted or rotated on its axis in a way that it should not be. This is explained quite simply when we consider that the moon rises in the east, travels across the sky and sets in the west. In the northern hemisphere the moon will cross over in the southern sky, and in the southern hemisphere the moon will cross over in the northern sky. I am in the southern hemisphere. Let's have a look at this video of this Concorde aircraft flying across the sky from east to west as if we are looking north.
How about that?
This is the sort of view that we would have from the southern hemisphere if we were comparing it to the moon.
Unfortunately, it's a full moon, so you're not seeing the
Let's take another look and we'll take some photos this time
dark side of the
as the
moon.
aircraft fly over.
It's showing
There's-
it covering over.
There's you watching this in real time here? Are you watching it in real time in my screen share over here on Discord?
No, he's not.
If
No,
you're watching it-
I'm watching it on YouTube, sorry.
Oh no, yeah, you 30 seconds behind, man. So you cannot comment while the video is playing. You can watch it on YouTube. Oh, click on my name here on Discord. Click it and watch the stream, and you'll be watching it in real time.
There we go.
And let's try not to interrupt too much when the people is talking. We'll try not to interrupt.
Oh, I am watching. It's the same video on it with the airplanes now, but it's the moon, the full moon thing.
It's behind. You're behind. You gotta mute yourself while the video is playing first.
Pointing northeast. Pointing north. And pointing northwest. Now let's take a look at our photos. We can see now that the angle that the aircraft are pointing in our photographs are quite different in each photo. And in exactly the same way we will see that the moon appears to change its angle as it travels across the sky. Thank you for watching. Please be sure to check the description box for a link to our discussion page, Voices of Reason to Explain X or Vortex. Thank you.
Shout out to Dasa, the cameraman. And it's actually exactly what I was explaining, at least the way I see it in my brain. I made it more convoluted and more difficult to explain, but at the end I got it. And this was exactly very, very well said and very concise by Dasa.
Yeah, but as I was saying, because it was a full moon, you had to use the line to show what would be, the red line on the full
I
moon.
understand that.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. If you had a half dark moon, you'd have seen the shadow turn like this one, and that's what I was trying to explain. Yeah.
So was
So
he
it's not-
trying to sorry.
You go ahead.
Yeah, was he trying to explain that angles matter? Oh no, it's starting.
Perspective and angles, yeah,
Nah, sorry.
disappeared from the ground up.
I'm not doing that one again. Sorry.
Some of us got it.
Yeah. Thanks.
No worries.
I'm going to try to grab a very easy concept to grasp in your mind, right? To visualize. But I'm going to make it as more confusing as possible. I mean, that's what I like to do. But
Yeah, we know.
I might think about something soon,
How can I make this really, really complicated?
I like that. You got to caricaturize yourself, a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's even a real word.
It works. It'll do. We know what you mean, I think.
It's perspective. Sorted. Marcus has a very important message. Flat earths suck. Why are you banging over there, farmers?
Oh, sorry, I'm just trying to get myself sorted out for tomorrow.
Now, let me ask you something. If I'm looking at the sun, they're very close to sunset, and then Farmer's Boy is orthogonal to that person. Can I see that orthogonal view, please? Shout out to Devil's Advocate. Don't leave, bro. Come on. Right,
There's nothing wrong. Here. There's nothing wrong with orthogonal views. They're very, very useful, particularly in my line of work.
I don't use that word. I just dislike it. It's orthographic.
It is essentially the same thing.
Isn't something to do with seeing the same view from the same angle, but not seeing the same object from different views?
We in the real world, when you're looking at stuff, you're generally not looking at something orthographically or orthogonal, because we do see the effects of perspective. However, when you do a sketch or something, you say, look, this is the curvature of the earth, and this is a bloke standing on the coast, and this is the boat going over the curve. You're looking at it from side on. That's an orthographic or orthogonal view. But we don't tend to look at things like that, because an orthographic view doesn't have perspective in it. You draw everything at the right size. And obviously, if you're standing there watching a boat going over the horizon, you're seeing it going away from you, so it looks to be getting smaller.
Is orthogonal a made-up word?
Well, all words are made up, aren't they?
Damn it.
Orthographic projection is a form of what's called parallel projection. And the clue is there in the word parallel. If you're drawing something far away from something else, you don't reduce it in size. You draw everything at the right size. It just because it's further away doesn't mean to say it gets smaller, because in real life, it doesn't get smaller.
And what is the difference with orthogonal? The same, orthographic.
Orthogonal and orthographic are pretty much the same thing. It's the same sort of view. Sketches and things. If one of Rumpus's famous sketches where he's showing the Earth, and he's showing somebody standing at point A and somebody standing at point B, and the curve of the Earth getting in the way. That's orthogonal or an orthographic view. It's basically looking at something from the side, but you don't shrink things down like we see. When we watch something going away from us, it appears to get smaller. And obviously, it only appears to get smaller. This is what Riley struggled with years ago when he said,
"I tried."
Is a 10-foot wall a 10-foot wall?
In my Nathan Oakley days, I tried to grab a little ruler, papers, and a pencil or a pen. I've been stuttering these past few days. Some words I can't get it out. Sorry, guys. I'm not sure. Oh well, it happens. I try to draw. Orthographic view, but with perspective effects included. I just couldn't do it. It just didn't work out.
Well, no, and that's why certainly in something like construction, where you're trying to draw things to scale, you can't include perspective in it, because your dimensions would be wrong. Somebody would go and put their scale rule to it and go, well, hang on a minute, this is supposed to be 3 meters long, but you've drawn it at 2.5. Oh, that's because it's X meters away. No, that's not how it works. You draw everything to scale.
Yeah, to scale. More of a blueprint type of thing. So it's a mock-up. It's the original measurements of things. You cannot, do anything artistic of making it maybe in the far away smaller. No, whatever you got there, gotta be by scale. Yeah.
Yeah. If you give somebody a drawing and you've drawn it using 2-point perspective, he's going to say, well, how the hell can you expect me to build that?
Yeah, that's not orthographic. Yeah.
That's why plans, elevations, sections, they're all drawn using orthographic projection, and they are all to scale. There's no distortion due to perspective, because you just can't build or make things like that. That's just not how it works.
Right. Which side would be getting smaller and which side would getting bigger?
Exactly. It'd be a nightmare. And if you handed that to anybody who's trying to build anything, they're just going to look at it and at best they're going to laugh at you and throw
Yeah,
it back in your face.
you can put that in the last page as an extra, like just an artistic view, perspective view, whatever of the building. I used to do that. I did some blueprints in my youth from little houses and rooms and stuff. And at the end, I did an artistic view on the last page. Like, then this is how it's gonna look like, you know.
Architects love to do that when they're designing a building. You know, they'll give you a set of plans and elevations, and that'll all be drawn to scale. But then at some point, you can bet your boots they'll do either an isometric or something in perspective, and that'll all be, you know, nicely freehand sketched and maybe some watercolors to bring it out, and that'll be this is what we think it's going to look like. But that's all it is. It's an illustration.
Yeah, they might even put some flower beds in there, making a driveway.
Oh, they put all sorts of things in, and of course now they do it all digitally, and they can give you you can do a walkthrough of the 3D model. No, this is what it's going to look like, and
an almost perfect representation. I mean,
yes, yeah.
To your eye to your brain is so perfect representation. Yeah,
that's it.
Did you do technical drawing, or it became engineering drawing when I got older? I started off it was technical drawing when I was 13. By the time I was 16, it was engineering drawing, you know.
That was the only O level I got an A grade in was technical drawing.
Yeah, I got an A in that as well, yeah.
And of course, you know, you just go from doing it on the drawing board to doing it on computer, but it's exactly the same principle. But yeah, everything. Yeah. And of course, in computer and AutoCAD, you go into what's called model space, and it's all drawn one-to-one. You know, it doesn't matter how big the building. The building could be half a mile long, but it's drawn one-to-one. So in model space, it is half a mile long.
I did CAD CAM when I was God, I can't remember what age I was, but I did CAD CAM probably when I was 17, 18. I went to college, paid for it myself to do that. But it's very much like what people are doing now with these laser printers and stuff. You know, you have to design it and have all the cutaways and all that done, which is exactly what you're doing with engineering drawing, you know, and then, you know, the laser builds it, you know, but you have to have all those measurements have got to be perfect. The cutaways, you know, the empty space inside a box or whatever, you know, you have to design it like that, Yeah, the plant rooms I used to design, you know, it was all drawn to scale, and if I needed to do, you know, a part of detail or a little sort of cutaway section or something, because I was basically giving it to guys who were going to be welding it all up. You know, you're talking big old bits of pipe and flanges and pumps and valves, and everything's got to be dimensionally accurate, and all the important dimensions are there, so they know how long to cut the pipe and what size flange to weld on the end and blah blah blah. Yeah, that is not the time to be putting in pretty perspective views, because they just go, piss off. Where's the proper drawing? And that's something they seem to struggle with, you know. And Rump says, right, I'll do a sketch of that. Yeah, he's going to do he's going to do an orthogonal view, an orthographic projection, a cutaway, a section, or what have you. And yes, it's not going to include perspective because you can't. It look bloody stupid. No, that's what I'm saying. You've got to put all your scales in. You have to, you know, put every measurement in. You might even have to talk about, you know, materials and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
The way I see orthogonal or orthographic view is like, if it's the side of a building, for example, it's as if every part of the building was drawn from like 2 meters away, like as if you were right in front of it, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It's all drawn accurately to scale. There's no distortion to try and make it look like a perspective view where, you know, oh, that's further away, so that's going to look smaller. No, you can't do that in that sort of drawing. It all has to be. You have to forget about perspective. Basically, you can't show it.
I think I've reached a new stage. Like earlier, I couldn't understand anything you were talking about, and now you would bring up technical stuff, and I understood everything.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I remember elevation, plan, and there was another one as well. And that was like, you know, you had to represent 3 views. Everything had to have the same, measurements. You know, you didn't go from fucking centimeters to inches, but everything had to be drawn the same, and it all had to be like 3 views of a 3-dimensional image. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember learning about this in secondary school. Like, we'd draw like we'd have the perspective view, not perspective view, but top-down view, side view, whatever. I can't remember the actual terms for it. Like, and then from those you would create like an orthographic projection, basically.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see if I've got any examples on here, but
And I can still remember the stuff I used to draw, and full lines would be faces and that you could see. Broken lines would be, something that you couldn't see, but which would still be a line inside an object if you had, if it was like a shape with cutaways inside. You would still draw in those cutaways, but there'd be broken lines and stuff. And
there's
a long time since I did it, yeah.
There's conventions. I mean, in my line of work, if you're showing a bit of pipe, say it's a 1 to 50 plan, so or even a 1 to 100 plan, so you're just drawing a pipe as a single line. Well, if it's at low level, it's just one continuous line. If it's high level, which means you can see it, but it's up against the ceiling, that's a line with a single dash in it, what's called center.
Yeah.
If it's above the ceiling, like in a ceiling void, then it's phantom. That's got a double dash in it. If it's below the floor and you can't see it at all, then it's just a dash line. But straight away from looking at a drawing, you can look at the line type, and that will tell you exactly where the pipe is.
If you're trained in the conventions, you know what all these things mean just by looking at it. Oh, yeah, I know what that is. I know what, yeah.
Oh, don't seem to have any drawings that got sections on them. Oh, well. But yeah, there's all sorts of engineering conventions, and
that's the thing. Some people pick it up. They can actually, picture inside their mind a three-dimensional shape, and other people find it really difficult to, get that picture. But they're really good at other things like language and stuff.
Yeah,
I'm not all good at everything. Yeah.
But of course, back in the day when you're drawing everything on a film or a sheet of paper on the drawing board, you had to be able to think in 3D because there was no CAD programs. There was no Navisworks where you can go, okay, show me it in 3D and let me do a walkthrough. All that had to exist in your head because there was no other way
you had to have a picture in your head that made sense to know what you were looking at in a drawing. Yeah.
You're drawing a complicated plant room. It's got pumps and pipes and valves and Christ knows what else, and they're swanning about all over the place, and you've got to be able to picture that in your head and make sure that this pipe doesn't clash with that pipe, that bit of duct doesn't clash with that bit of duct. You draw it out, but you've got to be able to picture it in your head and think, yeah, right, that fits, that goes there, da. I mean, these days now, you draw it all in 3D, and there's bits of software, clash detection, that goes, nope, you can't put that there because that's in the way, and does it all for you. It's cheating.
I think it's cheating. I think it's helping, you know what I mean?
You're kind of taking me back to my days when I used to do this in school, and it was all done by Rotring board, or you had a Stedler board, and it was all...
I've still got my Rotring pens. I've got an erasing shield. The Rotring pens I sometimes use. I mean, yeah, I've got all that from, when was that, 1980, something or other.
I remember my 60 angle, my 45-degree angle in my T.
Yep.
Yeah, the big thing went across the front. I can't remember. It was
and you drew everything in pencil first until you
everything
it was
in
right,
pencil
and then you
inked
it up. Yeah. And then the architect phoned up and said, I've redesigned that part of the building. Oh, bollocks, I've got to start
you have to go back, whatever, fucking look at everything again. Yeah, it's pain in the ass, man.
Yeah, those were the days. No, you just say, yeah, just email the new layout out and I'll XREF it in. Bish, bash, bosh.
I have a question.
42.
If someone, let me see. If I build an apparatus that is hanging out, right? Hanging, very long hanging, a pendulum, right? I build a pendulum.
Mm-hmm.
What's up with that? What's up with that? Shouldn't I be sitting like sitting, right? Let's say I'm doing my show, but you always see me with my from the chest up. Let's say I'm naked, right? And my balls are hanging off the edge. I'm in the edge of the chair. There's a very interesting conversation, yelling and shit show. And I'm sitting in this and my balls are. Why? We think about pendulum. We think about the rotation of the earth and the retrograde, the motion. What's up with that?
I was going to say, are your balls hanging stationary or are they swinging?
This is taking a very strange turn.
No need. There's no need.
No, but it matters if they're stationary or swinging. It matters,
Oh man, I don't even know where I was going with that. That wasn't the path I chose. I wanted originally to go to.
I thought you were going to want to talk about a floating deck or something. You know what I mean? I was going to say, well, yeah,
No,
I
a
understand
pendulum.
that.
Shit will be swinging around in doing this motion. That the pendulum does all the time. Do I have to swing the stuff? Do I have to give it a little push start, and then it will keep swinging forever, or what? Or it's just gonna stop, right? So how does a pendulum continues to move, or will it stop every few hours?
Oh, if
and
it's
then
in
you
a
push it
vacuum,
again.
if it's in a vacuum, it will just keep going. But if it's in normal earth air, it will
No, it
eventually
won't.
slow down. Won't
No,
it?
even in the vacuum, eventually it'll stop
It will
swinging.
stop. It will stop.
Oh, because of
Because this-
gravity. Yeah.
Well, no, because this little thing called friction. I mean, where they have these pendulums in various museums and science centres, whatever, and they're using for demonstrating, they tend to have a mechanism that keeps the pendulum swinging. It'll deviate over time. The mechanism lets it do that, but they have to have something to keep it going, because obviously, however the pendulum's swinging, there's friction in there, and eventually the friction will cause it to stop,
So they've got
because
a
there's
wee
no such
engine.
thing as perpetual motion.
Yeah, so they've got a wee engine in it. Just gives it a wee kick every now and then to keep it going.
Yeah, they generally have a little mechanism in it just to give it a little oomph every now and then to keep it going. Oh God, who let was in? It is Was, isn't it? He's the drunken Australian helicopter pilot. As it was.
All right, we made it. 33 watching. Illuminati confirmed.
Yes, Illuminati. Outstanding.
Loud and clear.
If we just get one more like, then we've got 33 likes as well, and that would be superb.
Yes, please.
Was the pilot? I think it's someone else.
Was it? Is it Jezza? It's Jezza, isn't it? Jezza, that's it. I couldn't. I get them muddled up. So that's right.
He's not
Jezza.
Australian. He's not Australian. I think he's
Oh, don't tell me he's New Zealand. Fuck's
New
sake.
Zealand. Yeah.
Yeah, well, they're interchangeable. They're interchangeable unless you're an Aussie. That's like calling all Englishmen Welshmen.
I
We don't like it. But we don't like it. But nobody else gives a
English,
shit.
you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
yeah,
English,
but-
Londoners, you know what I mean?
Cool, blimey, governor. Quarter pounder.
I've got to say, we've got 33 likes and there's 33 watching, so you've got 100% likes.
Yay,
tonight,
that,
you know what I
that
mean?
really
Yeah.
is Illuminati confirmed. 33 sucks. I'll be happy to have one, thank you.
I'm 34 now, and there's only 33 watching. I think NASA's putting a hand out, putting a thumb on the scale here, you know.
Oh, well, that's very good of them.
Are you guys avoiding my point about the pendulum? I haven't get to the end yet. I got problems with it.
What, your balls swinging?
No.
You lost me there.
The pendulums that are in the big museums, the big places, they are not constantly moving, or they have a motor always moving it, or every so often they get propulsed again, impulse, pushed, pulled, dropped, push, tangle, whatever it is, bumped.
Yeah, they generally have a little kicker mechanism that keeps them going, because obviously if you set a pendulum going and then just leave it alone, eventually it will stop swinging. Because if nothing else, friction will stop it. It'll slow it down.
If mathematically, whatever mechanism is being used to give it that little push has a certain angle, certain orientation that is going to push it to exactly in the time that will be running, will be doing this precession and moving to the right or to the left or whatever. What if it's the mechanism that is just pushing it a little bit extra every time to do that, to appear to be,
Well,
doing that thing?
Oh, you
we
mean
know.
the focal pendulum?
Yeah. We know that isn't the case because people have built focal pendulums and they haven't had a kick or anything, but the pendulum swung long enough to show the deviation. It's just that when you're in a museum or a science centre or something, it's easy just to have a kicker to keep the thing going all day, rather than have somebody coming out and sort of resetting it every time.
Yeah, it's probably just when it's about to go out, they just have something that gives a little jug, a little pull on it, and then let's go again, and that just gives it that little
First,
bit of
don't you
energy
know
to
how
keep
that
going.
works? They do a raffle, and a little kid, they say, now smack it, and they give
Yeah,
him
kick it.
they giving a piñata stick, and the kid just smack it with the piñata stick, and then
Smack
will
seven
take off
shades
again.
out of it. There you go. Yeah.
Once he got strength, one is going fast. Now again. Now, all right, get out. Yay. We'll do it again in 2 hours. A raffle again. $1, the entrance. Hundreds of kids playing every day. You got money there, man. Mitch from Oz, the failure from Australia, knows all about pendulum.
Oh yeah.
What if
Yeah.
you do? What if you make a pendulum out of meatballs? Because remember the meatballs from earlier. What if pendulum now? Everything comes together.
I don't know.
Am I repenting for something? Why do we have to talk about balls?
I guess it depends how hungry you are.
It's balls all the way down.
Are those homemade meatballs? Or...
Well,
Okay, yeah. If it's homemade meatballs, then the pendulum is going to stop swinging sooner. But if it's frozen meatballs, the pendulum will stop swinging later, I think.
That makes so much sense now. There's B with a £2 super chat. Shout out to There's B. Here is your little kick to your pendulum for £2. There's B. Thank you, brother.
You've just kicked him in the pendulum. Oh dear,
Yeah.
that's nasty.
Kick in the pendulum.
Well, is Jim's mind asking, are the meatballs European or African?
That's also a factor that you shouldn't ever forget when doing this meatball pendulum.
Try to keep that Jose pendulum swinging,
Yeah.
Now,
I guess so.
the pendulum. What is it? What is the job of a pendulum in those museums? What is it probing or testing or demonstrating, or what is going on? What is the conclusion about a pendulum?
It depends what the pendulum is being used for.
Make it short, quick, and in one sentence to concise. Like you got a plaque underneath. If there's a tour guide, there's no group, and you read the plaque. The pendulum, this, and that. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I'm saying there's lots of different pendulums. Clocks usually have pendulums in them in order to keep the clock going. It used to be, you wind it up and swing the pendulum, and that keeps the clock wound as well. It's a bit like the watches where when you walk it winds it up. The pendulum.
I'll give you an example. This is the Cavendish experiment, and with this contraption, back in the day, a dude was able to measure the weight of the Earth, and they type a little notation: gravity. Now the pendulum. What's up with that? How would that read? What is it? Farmers, you got it.
What? Sorry, I wasn't listening.
Pendulum. What is the pendulum do? What is a pendulum for?
What? Foucault's pendulum.
Yes.
It's to demonstrate the deviation in it due to Earth's rotation. Basically, it's a way of proving that the Earth is rotating and isn't stationary. Because if the Earth wasn't rotating, then the pendulum wouldn't deviate over time.
So because it's a long string or whatever, long tether, does it demonstrate that the Earth is rotating? But that is attached to a building, right? On the Earth, is it in a basement? Is it a museum? To a ceiling, to a big building, right? And it's in the Earth. It's moving with the Earth. It's rotating. How is it proving that the Earth rotates when the apparatus is on Earth?
Well, you could make a pendulum that's a bucket with either ink or sand or something that's going to pour out a tiny wee hole. And as it swings back and forward, it doesn't keep going over the same line. It moves.
Where are you going to attach this string, the rope? I'm going to call it the rope. We all know is the pendulum string or whatever.
Yeah,
so where are you attaching this rope?
You attach it to like a beam above the floor.
Right, in the ceiling, in the building that you are on, or whatever.
Yeah.
Castle.
And then you
well, it's attached to the Earth. It's attached here in the Earth. How is it?
Yeah, it's attached here in the Earth. Yeah. And then you fill it with sand or ink or whatever, and then you pull it all the way to the side and let it go. And over time, you'll see that it doesn't keep going over the same path. It changes. It goes round and round and round. And you ever seen those Etch-a-Sketch things? Where you can...
I know all of that you're saying. All I'm asking for is why this rope is attached here. It's in the Earth. We cannot have a rope in mid-air floating with no effects.
The rope is attached to a pivot point. That has nothing to do with it. It's the swing of the pendulum that's the main factor in this.
It's showing that there's a relative motion between the pendulum swinging backwards and forwards and the Earth rotating underneath it. And that's why the pendulum appears to very slowly move around in a circle as it swings backwards and forwards. And that's directly with regard to the rotation of the Earth underneath it. It's all to do with relative motion. And basically, if the Earth didn't rotate, the pendulum wouldn't deviate and it wouldn't go round in that circle.
No, you just have a straight line across the floor, but instead, over a 24-hour period, you'll get like a flower pattern. You know what I mean? Basically.
And of course, if you set a pendulum going in the northern hemisphere, it will go clockwise. Guess what happens in the southern hemisphere?
Does it go clockwise?
No, it goes counterclockwise. It goes the other way. And that's exactly what happens in Coriolis as well. And you can see that in hurricanes. Hurricanes in the northern hemisphere go the opposite way round to those in the southern hemisphere. And that's all because Earth's rotating.
I don't bloody believe it. It's almost as if the world is a sphere.
Yeah, it's not only a sphere, but a rotating one. Yeah, it's quite incredible, isn't it? And yet none of that can be explained on a flat and stationary Earth.
Sorry for my bad victim the audio impersonation, but yeah.
Oh dear, Victor Melcher.
Age 50
See, there again, I'm old. I'm just referencing the 70s, 80s, sort of sitcom. And it was a fucking funny one, let's face it.
It was.
Well, I'm not as old as you, but I kind of grew up with that stuff, so, you know.
Yeah. Oh, God. Ron Jeremy. Oh, no. It's the hedgehog. Oh, God. It's Ron Jeremy. Oh,
leaving alone, man. Come on.
And he really hasn't aged very well at all, has he?
He's a professional.
I
mean, he was never a good-looking bloke in the first place, but God.
One of the weirdest creatures.
I think he really let himself go, though, in the end. You know what I mean?
Last I heard, he was in a lot of trouble with the law, I think.
Yeah, I think that's got all more.
I don't know what came out of that, but oh dear, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's got a lot more to do with sort of, as you get older, you become confused and, and I think that's got a lot more to do. Probably having the arteries in the brain, Alzheimer's, something like that,
Yeah, Citizen 9, like you don't know who that is. Yeah, everybody knows who that is. Yeah, I think actually most of the allegations were historical, weren't they? Going back from when he was active, shall we say?
Yeah. I think that, but a lot of the people when they came forward in the last sort of like 5 years or something like that.
Yeah.
Where's Gary? Where's Gary Webbing? Gary, I'm gonna ask you a question about this cow on screen right now. What's going on? What's happening?
What sort of
why
genetic
is she
monster
like
is that?
Yeah, why is she like that, man?
My
Reminds
God.
me of the thing, the thing on the table in the restaurant at the end of the universe, and it's saying, "Oh, my rump is tender. You should have a bit of that."
Oh, yeah, that's when he orders the steak and they bring the whole animal out.
Yeah, and the animal's talking to him and telling him what parts
Yeah,
are nice.
you know, I've been raised corn fed and all the rest of it. Here, you should have a bit of my rump. It's particularly tender. Yeah. God, yeah.
No, I'm worried about this cow, man. Is it? Do you think it's like the family tree? They all like that? It might be a genetic thing. Genetic. Some get them, some don't. Sometimes the direct descendants don't get it, but then the second generation, the third generation, then they all walk like this. I gotta ask Gary if he got any cows like this.
I think this is a flat Earth cow. Yeah.
Gary, where you at, man?
Yes, biggest doggers. I think he did claim that he's a animal geneticist of sorts.
Hannah, I got the idea.
I don't know what Gary you're talking about.
Your BFF.
Gary
friend
and
forever.
cows. That's only one Gary.
Yeah, a lot of the time, you don't pay attention to them anyway, so I don't.
There's this confused. They don't know any of those names. There's haven't heard that name before. Leave it alone, man.
Well, maybe it's confused because it's not Brian.
No, it's because he don't remember. Shout out to Man Devil. I'm new too, man. Good to see you.
Oh, yes, he just inserted the.
Maybe he's talking with I don't know. Maybe he's seen him around.
I remember Gary's being mentioned as flat earthers, but I don't remember any of them saying they were geneticists or anything, so it confused me.
He works with cows, and I think he assists in how do we?
So he's a farmer and he injects sperm into cows. Is that what you're saying?
Not quite, but something along those lines. Yeah.
So I mean, he might be involved in a breeding program. They're selecting sperm
we didn't do cattle, so I don't know too much about them except that they're big and don't stand in their way when they get a hustle on.
Well, I have worked on a farm for a while and I understand that sometimes you don't hire a bull, you just get the sperm and it comes, you thought out and you just put it in, and that's probably what he's talking about. He thinks he's a geneticist. Yeah, Hannah Anderson would just say, he artificially inseminates cows. Yeah, I understand that. I've worked on farms and I've seen that done, Yeah.
Does he have dairy cows?
I believe so.
Yeah, that's probably what he does. Got to keep those cows providing milk.
Yes.
Cow milk for cows. It's cow milk for cows. When did that start? People start. The first weirdo that came in. I'm so fucking hungry. There's the cow. Let me just suck on that teeth.
When he saw one of the calves doing it and thought, "Hello."
Yeah, let me hear Anna. What do you think? That the way it went down?
I don't think it went quite down that way. Let's hope not.
No, I worked on farms and they would bring in, food and sperm, but they would also hire a bull because they wanted to have, a spread of genes, and they would sire some cows with a bull they hired in, and they would artificial inseminate others, depending what they were looking for, you know.
I've been lost after the first two words that you say, man. Sorry, Thirst.
I'm just saying.
Big time.
You can artificial inseminate cows, but you can also hire a bull and separate certain cows out to be sired by the bull, you know. Yeah.
It's just too hard to concentrate when you. I mean, I gotta use a lot of brain power to you know.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Encrypted messages. You know, I gotta work really hard to figure it out.
I'm sorry, I've had a long life and I've been, you know, had a lot of stuff that I've been interested in being involved in, and I've got so much stuff that I can talk about, and I'm not a normal human being, right? I'm a weird Scotsman. I understand that.
You gotta remember that the tale of the founders of Rome, Romulus and Remus, they were supposed to have been saved by a mama wolf, and
Yes,
they
a
were
she-wolf.
Yes, and they were fed by it.
That's
Exactly.
it's that a Rome, wasn't it? Yeah.
Let me find the bronze statue.
Yes, the legendary founders of Rome.
Yes.
Romulus and Remus, raised by a she-wolf. Blah, blah, blah.
And I've heard that it was. I have no idea if this is true or not, but I've heard that this is a quote unquote. It's a pun. It's a way of saying, because lupa is actually it's a synonym of prostitute in Latin.
Oh,
So
right.
there is a possibility that actually the two boys were rescued by a prostitute that who was living alone or something, and this would be the true story. And here's the image of them fitting.
Yes, that's the
on
one.
that wall.
Yes, that's a very famous one, isn't it?
So as weird as this idea of fitting directly on the teeth of a cow is, I mean, this dates long back.
You got to remember as well, back in those days, they had milkwives. So someone would have kids, and then rather than let the children feed on their breast, they would hire women who would either have a child themselves or lost their child but are still giving milk, and they would hire them as milkwives to feed their children so they could go and do other things, you know. Yeah.
Mm. Yes, Hannah, you're absolutely right. And we've gone down the very strange avenue tonight.
Yeah. You guys are all weird.
Well, I'm just sitting there thinking, oh, look, the Terminator's on TV again. Shall I go watch that instead? Because this is getting very strange.
It's only getting strange if you don't understand that there's a lot of stuff in history that we would think today is really strange, right? But these were normal. These were normal things that people did back in the day. You know.
Thank you, man. All I'm trying to do is
where's that moment? Oh, there it is. Gotcha.
All I'm trying to do is make some shit up to keep the conversation going and try to find a hole where there's none one. But I try to come up with the pendulums, the stars paradox in the beginning. You know, all the good stuff.
Maybe you could pretend that the Earth is flat. Oh, shit.
No,
that's
I keep it real.
Just stupid, yeah.
I keep it as real as if I'm standing looking at a star and my neighbor is walking away looking at that star is right in front of me but also walking with the neighbor, so that star split it in two, and then very, very far away, because I cannot see my neighbor, the star just become one again, so just my star, and the star disappear for him, but wait, he's still seeing the star. Why is the star in front of me? Is it two stars or what? Anna, go ahead, man. I've got a mem. Explain it to me, please. Confused.
I think Bob already explained it.
How do you know?
But
it's
Hannah
the same
wasn't
star?
here. Hannah, if I'm looking at a
I'm sorry.
star, I'm standing in the street looking at one star in the sky. My neighbor is walking away, and he's looking at the star as he walks away, and the star is following him. He's going behind the trees, behind the houses, following him. Why is that happening? Do I got two stars now? One for me looking at it, and one moving away from me, following my neighbor that was next to me a minute ago.
Yeah, you have a personal dome, don't you know?
I love that.
You see, that
Yes,
nobody
keep
brought
polishing
this
mine.
earlier. Nobody brought the personal dome earlier. See, that's why
No.
we got you here, Hannah.
Ah.
Yeah, I'm not.
How about
nice.
multi universes?
Well, you wouldn't see that from your own perspective, would you now?
How about pineapple on pizza?
Oh,
Now that's good.
No, look at this, Hannah. Look at this. Look
I
at
just
this.
can't. You can have my
Love
my slice.
I put my camera phone looking at the moon over here, and I put it in my Porsche at home, right, looking at the moon. And I walk away across the street to the gas station. But when I exit the house, I look up and I see the moon. And as I start walking, the moon is following me. It's going behind the house. I go into the street, and the moon is going behind across the street with me. And when I come out of the gas station, it's waiting for me. And I walk back, and then when I look at my phone, the phone is looking at the moon, right? So, but then I play I say, all right. Then when I left, the moon left the view of the phone because the phone is looking at the moon. The phone not moving, so the moon went away with me to walk and come back. But when I play the video of the phone, the moon is always in view. Why is that happening? Is there two moons? That's for Hannah.
Huh? What?
Hannah, go ahead.
What are you asking me these questions for?
Go ahead. Please help me out. Help me. I'm money literate. Louis, understand me. Louis, go ahead, man. You
I
Ronnie
don't.
answer.
I don't. You've been saying that for the 5th time, and I still don't understand. Don't understand it. Sorry, I can't help you.
The planet moves.
Ooh.
But wait.
I can see
wait.
Jupiter.
We got look. Try to understand me. This is for Louis and Hannah that don't understand. I got my phone, my camera phone, and I leave it in my house. The security cam, pointing at the moon. So the moon is right there in the center of the screen, right? And then I go away to across the street, right, and come back home. But as I walk away, the moon is following me. That's what I see. I see the moon following me. So as I walk, just staring at the moon is just walking parallel to me. Across, you see the buildings moving, the houses, and the moon is with me. And then I come back home, but the cell phone, the security cam, is still looking at the moon recording, but the camera didn't move. The camera didn't turn, looking to the gas station and came back. The camera is looking at the moon. So what do I think? I say, when I review this video that I left my security cam, I'm going to see that when I walk away, the moon will leave the center of the screen and follow me. And then when I get back, then the moon is going to come back to view to that video. But guess what I see when I play that video, the security cam? The moon is always there. Then how is this possible? Did I hallucinate the moon following me? Because the moon actually followed me across the street and back. Go ahead. Now you
ever
understand.
come across these paintings that look directly right at you, even when you're moving around? You see what I'm talking about?
Yes. But I'll be
This
turning my head. As I walk, I'll be walking, my neck will be twisting until it turns back. With the moon, I don't have to twist my neck. I'm just looking at it, going far away, and the moon is with me.
Far away, Jose. Far away.
But the moon didn't move in the house camera that I left pointing at the moon. But the moon actually moved, went with me across the street and back.
You have to set your
It
expectations.
move.
You
How
might have a
much
problem.
would you expect it to move?
A
You might have a
lot.
problem with your house cameras.
I went across the street and back. It should move a lot.
Let's go over this again, Dougal. This
It should have
is
moved
really
out of the
close.
view. It should have moved
That
out
is
of
really
the
far
view
away.
of the camera that is recording it at home. Out of
Sorry,
view and then coming
sorry.
back when I came back.
I don't have
Sorry.
the strength to answer that. I don't have
Sorry,
the mental fortitude.
All right, it's Nestle. Go ahead, man.
So, Jose, are you saying you have a security camera pointed in one direction,
Right?
and the security camera has the moon in the same place all the time?
Yes. Yeah, let's
Wow.
say it's 10 minutes, man. While I go across the street and back. 5 minutes. The test is performed in 5 minutes. 2 minutes and a half to go across the
So
street
it's
and 2
not
minutes and a half to come
24
back.
hours. It's just like
No.
short. Okay.
So that's why it's 5 minutes, right? When I walk away to go across the street, which is to the right, right? I mean, the moon is straight ahead in my house. If I'm looking straight ahead right now, you're looking. Now extend your
Okay.
arm to the right. That's where the direction to the gas station is. So so I'm pointing in my camera straight ahead. The camera stays there, and I just then walk away. I gotta turn my head so I can walk across the street and back. My head is just turned in a specific angle that I don't have to twist my head. It's just staring at the moon as the moon follows me to across the street and back. And
Yes,
but then,
because
so I
it's-
expect the moon to leave the view of the camera or on the camera. Go ahead.
It's because it's far away.
What?
that simple.
That's nothing to do.
I believe the word has been said earlier, parallax.
Yes,
As you move,
parallax. Yeah.
as you move, the buildings around you move a lot, but everything that is far away doesn't look like it's moving that much.
Yeah, but the moon's following him. I think it's more like a helicopter mum. The moon loves him, and it's following him like a helicopter mum.
Well,
He's
it's
actually
no
following
different.
the moon with
It's
his
no
eyes.
different
He's
to
looking at the moon and he's watching.
yeah. Well, it's no different to like if you're driving down a motorway when you have something to like some distinctive building to the left of you or right of you, whatever, depending on the direction of travel. That seems to stay there. And you could travel, I don't know, 2 miles or whatever, and that seems to stay there. It is parallax. It's
But the thing is, right. So before I exit, we got the security cam pointing at the moon, and then far away over there, there's a guy standing in there. And I say, all right, I'm going across the street. Just walk with me. When I walk away, I gotta turn my head because the guy trying to go across the street is staying behind. So I gotta turn my head slightly, twist my head to keep track of the guy while I cross my street. I'm almost like the exorcist with my head back, looking at the guy. And then to come back, I gotta twist my head again, like the opposite side to keep up with the guy. Why doesn't that happen with the moon? The moon is right above him. I see the moon above him, but the moon leave him behind and follows me and leave the guy standing in there pretty much.
We don't know how the luminary works, and maybe we will never know, because there's some things you can't know.
I have no idea what you're talking about, Jose. I really don't.
You know what? I hope that a flat earther can adopt this and make it better, like fireproof paradox. I would love that, man. I don't even need
Not
credit for it.
really
I
a
just need to hear
paradox.
it.
Has to do
I
with
just need to hear it. Sorry.
But Gary,
hold on,
did,
Jake. Hold on, Jake. Hannah, go ahead.
Oh, I said it's not really a paradox. It has to do with how far away the moon is compared to how far away this objects in your sphere is.
Well, maybe you didn't measure carefully, because when Gary did it, he definitely had to turn his camera. He moved his camera in one direction, and it lost track. He had to bring it back, the object.
Oh, this is Gary Wybenga's
Yep.
claim.
Oh, I made it my own.
Ugh.
I made it my own. Shit, this is a new thing. This is mine.
Flip flop you.
Well,
Thursby, shout out to Thursby for a £5 super chat. Big super chat, Thurs. Thank you. Some quantum physicists say the moon might not be there when you don't look at it. Uh-oh.
Nah, it's there.
I don't know, man. It's there. Yeah, it's there. Somebody else is looking at it.
This is the old question: does a tree make a sound if no one is there to hear it when it falls?
Yeah, it does. It's because no one's there to hear it. Doesn't change the sound that it emits, right?
We'll have to ask the ants.
No, I was just bringing in a more mind-blowing a more mind-blowing idea than the moon following you. Some physicists actually believe that the universe doesn't exist if you don't measure it. If you're not looking at it, it's not there, and stuff like that. These are crazy people, but these are the people who give us all the stuff we've got, you know.
Citation does.
Citation needed. There you go. Oh, perfect.
I don't believe there's such.
All you've got to do is Google, Google quantum physics, and just watch a few of the real brainy fucking cunts in the world. And some of them say it's not like this, and some say it is, but nobody knows, because nobody understands quantum physics. Not even quantum physicists understand quantum physics.
Do you know how many quantum physics videos out there? Be more specific. I'm not going to watch all of them.
Well, I can just say.
I need a timestamp when someone says the universe is not there when you're not looking at it.
All I'm going to say is, if you just look, how much time have you got? You probably watch 100 hours of YouTube a year, you know what I mean? Just spend an hour or two looking up quantum physics and watch it, you know what I mean?
That's why I'm telling you, because I have watched lots of videos and never heard anyone said something like this.
Yeah, I've only been getting that in the last year, but you know, all these new young physicists coming through, you know what I mean? Yeah, all these worm, you know, the worm people and all that, you know. You know, it's crazy, I know, but yeah.
I'll tell you what. Next time you hear someone say it, bookmark it, the timestamp, and we'll look at it. Okay.
I could probably go back into my YouTube history and find one. But yeah, it's got to be 20 minutes. I don't like to be doing that when we're just chatting about crap, you know what I mean? So yeah. Oh, have that killed the conversation again? Oh my god. Oh,
Tess, come on, man. You're becoming a party pooper now. It's the second
yeah,
time. Come
I
on,
keep
man.
killing it, man. I keep killing it. I'm sorry. I don't mean to. I was
Killing
just
the
bringing
vibe
in,
over here, bro.
I was just bringing in a mind-blowing thing, and I didn't mean for people to take it too serious, you know what I mean? I don't believe it, but you know, some physicists do. I'm just not saying all of them, but some of them do, you know. Some of the young crazy people, you know.
I can be such an asshole sometimes.
Now this is a real paradox. This is a real paradox, Tess. So since at the beginning there was no one to observe the universe, how did we come into existence?
Well, maybe it didn't exist until human beings were you know,
so that's what I'm asking. How did human being came to existence if the universe wasn't there to be observed?
Well, I don't know.
That's a great question, Jake.
You're asking me questions I can't answer. You know, I'm just saying.
That's a great question to you. There's from Jake. What do you think?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I can't answer the question. I'm just putting questions out there as well. I don't know how the universe came into existence.
That's a real
paradox. I don't think anybody does, you know. But I'm just saying, these people are saying that, you know, these tiny wee things is what we're all made of, and they can be here, there, and everywhere all at the same time. So maybe they're not there until you see them and measure them. You know what I mean? I don't know.
The universe was created with men in it.
No, I'm saying the universe might have evolved to have men in it, but then we didn't call it the universe until we evolved. What was it before that?
It can evolve if there's no one there to observe it.
Well, that's what they're saying. It wasn't.
It couldn't, right?
No, but something was there. It just wasn't what we see. We've quantified and measured and said this is what things are, but maybe it was there, but just not the way that we say it was. And so, are we making the universe look at the way it is because we have measured it, and you know, and maybe it's a different form if we weren't here. You know what I mean?
Probably need more wine and whiskey to get what you mean.
Okay, so what was a cup before a man said that's a cup?
Before a man, there was
Great question, Jake. That's from Thirst to you, Jake.
Yeah, well, I'm answering it. There were no cups before men, right?
Well, how do you know that?
Cups.
How can you certify
because
everybody know
it's
that?
men that make cups.
Well, how do you know that apes weren't using half a coconut as a cup? They just didn't call it a cup, you know what I mean? But men came along and then they said, it's a cup. It's a
Jake,
bowl.
how do you know there was no cups before men? Come on, man.
Because men make cups.
No, we named cups. but there could have been something there that could be used as a cup before we came along, and then we just put a name on it. You know what I mean? But you know what I'm saying? You know, there could have been a vessel that was used to scoop
this is so
water up and drink from, but it wasn't called a cup. But then men came on and we called it cup. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. You know, and maybe the universe is the same way. All these animals, the dinosaurs, they all knew the universe, but they didn't call it the universe. You know what I mean? And they didn't call it the moon. Then we came on, we started naming everything. So you know what I mean? You get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
How do you know?
I get what
How do you
you're
know
saying.
the dinosaur did not call the moon?
Well, I don't. You're quite right there. I don't. But they didn't leave a written language or any carvings or anything. So you know.
First day of the universe, it was a rainy day. It was raining men. Alright.
And
No,
this-
it's raining men and not
Disco-
raining women
Disco
or
was the
people.
thing.
Come on.
I'm
Hallelujah.
going crazy over it.
It's raining men. God, I remember that being in the charts. That was by the Weather Girls.
Yeah, they were there.
Oh,
I
God.
remember that.
Yeah. 1980 something or other. Fuck knows. Oh, look, here they come. Oh, look, as a dragon capsule approaching the ISS. Ooh.
Well, what I got on screen is what I'm getting from the link that was shared.
Okay. Try that one. I'll just put in the side chat because that one's working.
You can see it
I mean, technically it's approaching, but it approaches so bloody slowly.
Did dinosaurs worry when and if the flat Earth discussions? Dinosaurs worry about the flat Earth?
I don't think dinosaurs were vexed very much by the flat Earth discussion.
I reckon they were the original flat earthers. They seem to be the smartest flat earthers.
How do you know that, farmers, if there were no humans when there were dinosaurs? Or was there?
No, there wasn't. Humans and dinosaurs were approximately, well, at least 60 million years apart.
So how do you know if the dinosaurs didn't care about the flat Earth?
Well, we don't. We have absolutely no way of knowing if they were even capable of thinking.
Well, they must have been capable of thinking in order to eat the things that were good and not eat poisonous things. And I'm sure there was poisonous things back there that some animals avoid. And just like today, some animals can eat poisonous things and others can't.
I don't know. Remember back then when dinosaurs were around, there wasn't such a thing as grass.
No, they ate ferns and trees and shit. Yeah.
Grass hadn't evolved then.
Have you met an emu?
I have met an emu and it didn't like me.
Yeah.
They keep fucking biting.
They don't think very much.
Yeah, but they think enough to stay alive long enough to breed, and which is unfortunately not the case for many humans. You know what I mean?
That's that. Yeah, I think there's quite a few humans operate on sheer instinct as well.
What about elephants and crocodiles?
Yeah, crocodiles are actually older than some dinosaurs.
Yeah.
And so are sharks.
And tortugas. Do you know that there are tortugas all the way down, Ters? Tortugas all the way down.
I thought it was turtles. Is that tortugas?
I thought it was tortillas all the way down.
Tortugas.
Oh, okay.
That's what I heard in the vines. Nestle, what do you think? You heard that in the vines? There's tortugas all the way down?
Well, I grew up in Africa, so I know animals. And I know tortugas are not all the way down.
Are you sure about that? I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I'm starting to think that there might be.
100%.
So why there are pictures and drawings of it around?
Because
Like,
there are
old,
pictures and drawings of it.
But they are very old. Like people knew that.
Well, there are also old pictures of humans as goats, for instance, goat demons, various other. What? Why are you asking me this question? Like, this is fucking crazy. Like, dude, what the hell?
I mean, haven't you followed the last 2 hours that I've been here just rambling bullshit to try
just
to get
keep
people riled up?
taking the bait.
I'm just throwing random shit around.
Have you ever watched people fly fishing for trout and they just keep flicking and flicking and flicking? And you keep going snap, snap, snap. I'll take that. I'll take that for 10, please, Bob.
Big shout out to everybody in YouTube chat, man. I appreciate you. Respect everyone for 30 plus people just listening to us rambling nonsense for a while, man. Shout out to everybody, man. I appreciate it.
Oh God, I'm gonna have to bail soon. I'm getting knackered.
I prefer
I'm
the-
about to get out of here too. Yeah.
Oh, Christ, that's good timing then, because I think my brain's just about to go. You've had enough.
close to the time that I usually do my show. So
I
let's do
prefer
a
the
round of
image
final
of
thoughts.
Atlas with the whole globe on his shoulders, you know, Atlas with the globe holding it up. So it's Atlas all the way down.
Thirst. Let's do a round of final thoughts, man. You want us to do that, Thirst?
It's your show. You can't.
All right. Go ahead. Final thoughts. You first. We go alphabetical order ascending.
I really don't have any final thoughts. You know, I've had a good show tonight. You know, I enjoyed it, and I've been able to ramble what's a crap, and nobody actually kicked me for the show. I'm very surprised.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for coming in. We got Nestle Wipes. Final thoughts. You are very educational today, Nestle.
Yeah, you all suck.
2.5 hours, never gonna get back.
Sucks the worst.
Louis, final thoughts, man.
This is my best life so far. I love you guys.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Hannah, final thoughts.
I came in late, didn't get to listen to all the fun, but what I did hear was fun anyway. Always a good time.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Farmer's Boy.
Oh, thank you, Jose. You helped me unwind from a really long and one of those days. So much appreciated. Thank you very much, mate.
Thank you very much, man. Appreciate it. And Shaik, final thoughts.
All I can say is keep an eye on the moon. Make sure it doesn't follow you.
Dude, I can't stop watching the damn moon now.
Mate, it creeps up on you. You got to be careful. You got to watch it, you know.
Shaik, go ahead, man.
Right, that's about it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, everybody. If you're watching this live or recorded, don't forget to leave us a like. Share the show and be aware whenever we live, bring some new recruiters over, like flat earthers and non-globe earthers, to have a little bit of fun over here. I can plant them ideas and seeds so we can keep the conversation going. But we need them. We need them over here. Thank you very much, everybody. Check on the links in the description box. All of the links, all over the links. I'm pointing at to somewhere else, even though it's right here. It's like the moon. The moon follows me, but it stays there at the same time. That's the moon. And then all of a sudden it goes, whoops. Oh, man. Confusing. Jose JG out. Boom.